Give me 1 second, I'm stepping away. Alright, I am back. Hey, I think Neba's up. Let me see.
Yeah, I talked to Neba, and he doesn't. He's laying in bed right now.
Oh. Yeah. Whoever you guys can get, just invite him to the chat. This is being heard. I'm just gonna go live. Like, I'm literally just gonna pull it in right now for y'all boys, so we can just get back to talking and getting into all this goodness. I'm spreading it out right now.
We just had Alright, well, I know we just had July 4th, so I'm trying to get the British in here, but he won't answer me.
Okay, let's get it spread on the Facebook, and we are good to go. Alright, Gucci.
I'm glad you made it. Welcome to the Ark of War live stream hosted by Reginaldus TNB. If you enjoy the content, show your support by signing up to the Patreon. Link in description. Bye now.
I'm so pissed that that's happening.
Prepare yourselves, ladies, you're in for one hell of a show. If you're new to the channel, take this moment to like and subscribe so you can find other high-quality Ark of War videos just like this one. Now I take you to your host with the most, Reginaldus.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is the post-championship interview with EXE and TNB. It was a very, very phenomenal match. There's so much to talk about. I wasn't able to get the end conclusion of it. It was so hyped, though. Thank you for everybody that showed up and that was, here supporting the channel and supporting such a great match. EXE lost sadly. I see you, Jericho 104 in the chat. You were here early last time. Thank you for posting up early here with us. And yeah, man, we're gonna get into it, man. We have a few guys from both sides. Apparently more people are gonna come trickle in. I guess everybody got very, very busy last minute, but we will be able to give you guys a very good interview here today of from both sides on how it was to be on the battlefield during that championship match that we just saw yesterday. It was phenomenal. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get the gentlemen here, giving their intros. So let's go ahead and start with Beyonder, brother. Tell the people who you are, your in-game name, and give us a little intro.
My name is Beyonder. I've been playing the game for about 7 years. I took a 2-year break, so I guess technically 5 years. Been around the game a little bit. Fought when was really small, when ODAD was about 500 million back in the day. And then had met a few people, Ronan, and then went over to EXE and with Last Viking, Doctrine, and everybody.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that was a beautiful intro, showing how far back in the roots you've gone back to. Would you say you were playing back when even Rogers was meta?
Before Rogers came out, back in the day when the Energy Stones came out, when there was like a game changer.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's way back. So, would you say you've been playing since what? I think they said the beta was like in 2014 for this game.
Yeah, it's been about 7 years, and then when my son was born, I took a 2-year break.
Oh, yo, congratulations on that, man! Congratulations on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Winning in the game of life, passing on your seed, your lineage, your what I'm saying, your DNA. So, congratulations! He's not only winning in Ark of War, he's winning in real life, ladies and gentlemen. He's winning in real life. And let's go ahead and get Raziel, an infamous person here in the community, but he definitely earned his stripes, especially with TNB's recent victory. Love him, hate him, Raziel. Tell the people what's good.
Me, buddy. You can call me your salty milkshake. No, that was a really good battle. You guys already know who I am. Either love me or hate me, but shit. I've been around for about 6 years, so.
Yeah, you don't know nothing else you want to say? How long you been playing, brother? Like, how far back do you go so that people know that I'm saying, you're not a newbie, you're not a, what I'm saying?
All the way back. I go all the way back to the planet 1164. Actually, the funny thing is, I downloaded this game when it first came out, right? It's before any of the gold. All you had was gold that you could buy. And I was like fighting people, and I was like, how in the hell am I going to get better at this? And I just looked down there and it says buy gold. And I was like, that's too expensive. Ain't no damn way. Well, what do you know? 2 years later, I get suckered back into this thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Some say it's Stockholm syndrome, but
it's been a fun experience. It's a good community around here, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Some people, yeah, no, 100%. Like I was saying, some people say we loved our captors. You know what I mean? 7 Pirates captivated us, and for some reason we fell in love. But absolutely, man. Thank you guys. We had a Nacho. I don't know what happened to Nacho. It seems that he dipped out real quick.
I think he did. I sent I sent the invite over to a few others, such as Ronan, Foe, Neva. I kept sending it to Harris, but I haven't heard from him. I know he's up though.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to say anything. Man. All right. Well, we'll just start with what we got, and I think we have a more than qualified gentleman here because to even be in that bracket, to be in the finals, You know what I'm saying? That's nothing to scoff at. There's no noobs. There's you know what I mean? There's only seasoned veterans that participated in yesterday's game. So guys, let me talk about something very controversial. Let's talk about the key controversial things, and then we'll dive those into other things that are really great. And once again, Jericho, I see you in the chat saying, "Let's get ready to rumble." Yeah. So shout outs to Jericho in the YouTube chat. And shout outs to Ronan, 47 Ronan, for being here with us in just the conversation chat. He's not able to do voice chat, but he says, I hope y'all have fun. But so let's talk both Raziel and Beyonder, man. There were some key points in the match. I think the first three pivotal moments in the game. I say the first pivotal moment. EXE displays their strategic, seasoned gameplay, putting up the wall, not allowing TNB to jump over to their side to goal hop over to the objectives, which are the strongholds. Let's talk about that first, because I think those are like three key points, and that's one of the first ones. Raziel and Beyonder. So let me get Raziel's take on this one. Raziel, what were your guys' reaction to EXE first throwing up the wall so you guys couldn't jump over to the objectives? How did you react to that?
My answer, but we were not focused on attacking. We've played EXE the same way right before finals started. So I had a feeling that they would already know our strategy, because we pretty much did the same thing last time to them. So yeah, I mean, we weren't trying to go on the offensive. We didn't want to go up to their base. We knew that they were a strong team. We knew that if we went wild and didn't control ourselves, that we would probably throw that battle. So that's my take on it.
Absolutely. And I did hear from someone in the someone I was speaking to. They said that shout outs to TNB's turtle strategy. And so let me get your take on it. On the situation I described with you guys throwing up the wall to cut them off from the objectives. That's seasoned veteran play, brother. Can you tell me, being on on that side, what was it like to, going into the match using that strategy?
Putting up the front wall?
Yes.
Well, it's just been a staple, kind of going back through years of playing, if building the front wall to kind of ensure that the other side doesn't get a jump on you down on your side, right? To break focus. So it's it's like kind of went in at it that, all right, establish the front wall, and then each side had its own objective going forward, and then you coordinate according to side. So it's like whoever's on the left side has theirs, and whoever's on the right has theirs. That way, there's no miscommunication between the two.
Well, don't give away our strategies.
Oh, no, brother. As I was watching in the match, which I'm gonna go put on stream for anyone who didn't get to see those replays. I'm gonna also show some replays from yesterday's battle. But no, we definitely if anybody was watching my channel, I was really on point with you guys on both sides of what everybody was doing, because it was just a phenomenal match. The wall strategy was fucking freaking amazing. The strategy to not allow them, like I said earlier, to go the entire match. TNB was not able to even maybe once or twice touch your stronghold. It really, in my opinion, just as a viewer, EXE set the pacing and the tone of the match. Even though TNB, from what Raziel said, they already knew, hey, we're not going to go win an offensive battle against EXE, so let's just go ahead and kind of play the turtle strategy. But it was pretty clear what you guys were doing. You set the tone. You kind of figured out how to set up your, how to set up everybody into the stronghold so that it was the most difficult to be completely knocked out, and as well as to rotate. I think that was pretty obvious on my end. So hopefully I'm not giving away too much. And Nacho, what do you have to say? And give your intro also, Nacho.
All right, so Nacho, I've been playing this game for like 6-7+ years. This is my 4th or 5th time coming back to the game. Yeah, laugh at me, cool. Anyway,
homeboy was attacking. Let's see.
My outlook on this game was, I've been a part of a huge, prominently Chinese guild, And Raz already knows what I'm about to say because I said it earlier in the cast chat. But I'm definitely convinced that 7P has this game leaning towards the Chinese side. With that said, and you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, but we definitely got destroyed when it came to this GC, this last finals match. When it came to the Relic, we got absolutely demolished. They got what? Correct me if I'm wrong. 4 or 5 of them out of
4. Right.
Okay, 4 out of what? 7 then?
Yeah, 4. I think it was 4 out of 7. Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys got the good ones though. You guys got the lockouts. We got the visions.
Yeah, and real quick, for those who are watching, maybe even myself, can you explain so both sides are able to attack the relic, and who gets the relic? The one who's done the most damage to the relic, or whoever gets the last hit?
It's the last hit.
Last hit, yeah.
Wow, so it's 100 hits, and whoever gets the 100th hit gets it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, I
It's
thought
a strategy. There is a strategy to that.
Can we hear that strategy? Maybe Raziel or whatever side that wants to go ahead and divulge a little bit of the strategy.
Go for it.
I mean,
oh no! If you don't want to, it's cool. If you don't want to, it's cool. I thought you were saying that you wanted to. It's cool, bro.
But no, there is a strategy to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, fuck it. I'll be honest with it. All right. Technically, we waited for most of y'all guild members to send, and then we sent after. Everybody was told to send to go after it. So you have some people that don't want to send to the relic and they want to keep fighting. Well, some of our guys have like multiple commanders that they can use to actually win and win that fight. So them all sending at the same time after y'all send clinched most of the relics for us. Because you think you got 50 members or 60 members sending there at one time, and then we send another 60. It's just a matter of who gets that last hit,
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I get y'all's strategy. Not saying it's our strategy as well. So there's that. But
yeah, could we go over? Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you're good.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I'm just saying.
Sorry.
That was one of the big things in this GC was the relic is what in my opinion, and no disrespect, y'all played a fucking hell of a match, but I think the relic saved TNB's ass the whole entire match.
Word. And let's get Neva. Neva, give your introduction, brother.
What's up,
Welcome to the chat, man.
What's up, Reggie? What's up, man? How you doing, brother? I've been on the channel a couple of times and everything like that with you and everything, man. It seemed we had this little interview going. I'm Neva with the EXE. TNB, great fight, by the way. It was a very fun, very exciting finals match. Y'all definitely earned that, for sure. Great fight, for real.
Absolutely. Right. And I see Ronan, you got the mic available. Ronan, you about to say something? Give me your intro.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I can hop in voice for a few, but yeah, happy to fight with TNB yesterday. It definitely was a great match. I mean, I think obviously for everyone who watched, there definitely was a big strategy difference between how TNB and EXE were playing. We played the strategy that we wanted to deploy for that specific match. TNB played theirs. We were aware that they were going to employ the same strategy they used in the main season. And, sometimes strategy plays out, sometimes it doesn't. But just something for us to take into the next season and for us to deploy into our future strategy. So definitely happy to do it again, and we're looking forward to the next time we fight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And trust me, I know you guys didn't have a chance to, but because you were in the battle. Bro, it was amazing to commentate the match. If I did the timestamps for anybody that's watching this. If you go back to my live stream, I didn't get the conclusion because I literally just picked up a work shift and I had to dip. But I was there to the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and I was giving all the viewers the update on what was happening. So like I said in the beginning of, I think we've covered mostly the intro which was one of the biggest pivotal moments in the intro of the battle, was that EXE set the pace. They built the wall, didn't allow TNB to get to the other side, poke the objectives, they just totally kept, EXE, you guys totally kept the pace of the battle. Even though TNB had the battle as far as points, it was clear for me and Black Tiger that were watching that EXE did not care about points. You guys were literally like, yo, we're going to win purely off strategy. And the first strategy you guys deployed was the wall. The second strategy was lightly poke the left stronghold enough to, to distract, but we're going to take that right stronghold, and then we're going to go for the main base. And also, you guys had 2 people from EXE jumping on the other side so that you could get vision of these objectives. And once again, TNB never really got a footing on the opposite side of the field. It looked like TNB basically played the turtle strategy and moved to the lower left side of the field. So let's talk about the second big pivotal moment. And I think that would be EXE attacking the right stronghold, and the black player always coming in at this last 10 or 12, 15 minutes, knocking you guys out until eventually you guys took that right stronghold. So can we guys just kind of chime in on what was the process? What were you guys thinking about during that time? What are some key players like the Iron Fist Craig, who I didn't even have pegged for the top.
Craig was trash.
Yeah, Craig, he's trash, but a lot of people will.
We'll let EXE go first, and I'll go after.
Okay, so I know a lot of people was watching that Iron Fist Craig player. What's his name? Does anyone remember? Evans. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had it earlier, I forgot. But yes, Evan. Everybody in the chat was like, "Wow, Evan is really putting in work." So let's go. Matter of fact, let's. Yeah. What do you guys think as far as?
Okay. When you're looking at the right and left strongholds, right? EXE actually, we got into the right stronghold within the first minute or two, of the match. Something that was interesting that happened, and we have the screenshots to prove it, is we got locked out of the right stronghold without even having fought, over 5 to 10 battles. So that is something that we would like to try to understand more, either from a dev implementation or a bug side, because there wasn't physically enough time for us to get locked out. But we had a limited deploy window where we weren't able to resend and stack into the main into the right stronghold off the bat. So that was something that we personally have not seen before, and definitely was a interesting mix into things.
Absolutely, and thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'll definitely shoot the devs a mail and say, hey guys, can you review that match? Apparently there was a time where they got locked out earlier than the 60 battle limit. So
may I just say a couple of things real quick about that, because to answer your question, see, TNB, they are a very, very well structured GC team. I will give credit where credit's due. Okay. What they were doing was working the heck out of the loss counter. They had a couple of guys working that loss counter. So they would maybe give up this objective, maybe give up that, that's for a few minutes. That black, that's what he was doing. He was working the counter. And a lot of times, if you're not rotating out properly, things like that, that's what happens. You can get brought locked out. I give Raz and his team credit where they're due and everything. I'm not going to lie to you on that. It was definitely a good, well-rounded match, and they worked what they were supposed to do. They worked their strategy very well, and so did we. Now, once we was able to take the stronghold and everything like that, it was just a simple, we try to spread them out and spread them thin. And that's what we started doing. We started popping arcs, things like that. But they were able to come back and do that turtle, if you will, that turtle shell strategy and work the counter. So that was a really good tactic by them to counter our tactics, to be honest with you. So I give credit where credit's due on that. That's just what I'm saying with that. Now, as far as the Iron Fist Craig and the Black, they had some really good counters to some of our counters and everything like that. And we did too. I mean, it wasn't like there was a straight, they stomped us. You know what I'm saying? They won, and we fought to the very end, and they won at the very end, yes. But literally, it was a battle. It was just a really good battle of changing strategies up left and right in the middle of it, and the concept of it and everything, and trying to make sure we're getting the right call outs. And I give y'all credit, man. Y'all got that march speed down pat, Raz, for real, dude. But
We were told to spend go ahead and spend 750 gold on every fucking march that we spent. So
yeah, it was literally, dude. It was literally almost to the second, dude. It was almost to the second. And I'll give credit. That was really good. That was really good. You got me on that one. I like that. That was really good.
Down to the 11 minutes, man. I just put it to you this way: you guys were a strong ass team. You're always a strong team, all right? And you're one of the only teams that did not sacrifice their GC season to fight during the playoffs, and that should be well respected too. That's a well respected second place earning. But even still, I mean, you guys did awesome in Cassitan too. Am I correct?
Yeah, we had some fun with Cass. I'm not gonna lie to you on that one. We did. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. So
I think they really screwed it up, throwing almost all the big guilds into one Cassitan. I mean, don't get me wrong. TNB, we had FBI, we had SWO. We had some strong people there. Like FBI's got 6 billion. They had so many big people there.
Yeah, they're a really large guild. They're a really, really large guild. I mean, they are. They're stacked. You know, they got some old NYC guys over there. They got some old CHN guys over there. They're stacked pretty well. And I hate to see that. We didn't. I'm not trying to be funny when I say this, but honestly, to see y'all on the top two, it made me feel a lot better than to see them. You know what I'm saying? But then when you know what I'm saying, because like it's just a simple okay. TNB knows how to fight, so it's going to be a battle fight. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like, okay, well, it's either they are too big for us or we're going to beat them out for strategy straight up. They're going to do nothing to us. It was okay, this is going to be a battle. This is going to be a real one. So let's have some fun with it. You know what I mean?
So one thing I'd like to add into that is, what was mentioned with GC and also during the cast, right, is you'll see that certain guilds have very specific focuses, right? There are some very strong GB-oriented guilds that's what they do, that's what they play. You also have guilds like Star Alliance that to this day are still pretty much boycotting the Galactic Battle. They don't care about Galactic Battle at all. All they want to do is play cast right now. At EXE, right. Well, first, I would say strives to be well-rounded, right? They have a very similar approach as EXE does, where they're going to go full steam ahead. Because the biggest thing to us is going to be combat experience and, getting that repetition for our players. If our player base can get the most experience possible and continue to hone our skills in PvP, in GB, that gives us the most well-rounded team, right? So it's not that we're going into a playoff season looking to get into the finals. I mean, that is a great outcome of it. But, one thing we try to do is make sure we show up for everything. And in CAS, you'll see that was one of the most expensive CASs, on the board, right? You had Win, you had First, you had ROI, you had EXE, you had Star Alliance, and CNG. Like, that was, resource dealers were super happy. But, we never compromised our GB season. We never compromised our CAS season. We decided to play both. I mean, that's just how we play.
An expensive thing to do, and let me tell you, I'm actually proud of y'all for doing that. Because I'll actually chime in and say, if Win didn't stop their GC season, if DZG didn't stop their GC season, we would have had to face them too before we would have met y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. That could have, and First as well. I think First was on our bracket as well down there. And I know a lot of people.
Y'all had a tough bracket down there. I've
had personal experience with most of the guys from First, and it's a good, solid, structured team. They're just like you guys, so that really could have changed this whole season out. So, in a way, I mean, you guys can just look at it and just understand that, like, this has just been a weird season. I mean, y'all are a strong ass team. I didn't think we were gonna beat y'all. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie.
I mean,
I think for a guild measurement in a game like Ark of War, I've been playing since Server 6, and I've never jumped servers. So I've been with the family that's built into EXE, with XP, with Notch, with all these people, AJW, that are still in the guild, right? Like, we've built a family-style guild that wants to be consistent. And that's the key, is when you look at a guild being successful, at least in our program, in our regiment, is how do you build something with successful results? Because when it comes down to one season, anything can go, right? You can have a bracket completely lopsided, or just things can happen in a Caston match with, major players. So there's always an off chance that one guild can have a really optimized approach to get all the way to the finals and maybe even take it, right? It doesn't mean that they are the best guild. So, in my opinion, one of the better measurements for is your guild, consistently or able to maintain the strategy to have a, guild structure that survives through the seasons is how are you doing consistently, right? So that's what we strive to do. And, we've made the top 4 for what, 5, 6 seasons now. We've been in the finals, twice. We're happy with that result because what we want to do is continue to show up consistently and make sure that our guys are, at least we're competing at that caliber of performance.
That's the way to do it. I applaud you for saying that, because that's actually what I congratulate you guys for, because you are a strong team. You never know. One day I might actually miss American people talking to me.
Oh my god.
So,
Wow.
the coordination, let me just explain. The coordination when it comes to WeChat and trying to get through all the objectives and everything and doing the right thing for the team and having to translate everything at the same time, pretty much, it's kind of hard. So
hold on, Raz. Hold on, give me a hot sec. I gotta second that one. I was in UN1 back in the day, and prominently Chinese Guild. Having to change how you write things in guild chat, like you literally have to rephrase everything you say in order for everything to make sense.
Adjectives you can't use.
Yep.
Yeah.
I 100% understand exactly where he's coming from right now because that's exactly how it is.
Some of the things that they'll say in the WeChat, like you can't even understand. Like they'll be talking about a red wall or something like that. I'm like, what?
Right. Well, cannon fodder had no idea for like a year and a half what cannon fodder was.
What does it mean?
That's a meat wall.
Oh, meat wall.
Wow.
I got you.
Cannon fodder translates to meat wall, just like the Ranger shield. Oh my god. Jesus.
Something similar in Russia is going on too.
Yeah. I think once again, great points from everybody, absolutely. And I think, as a spectator of like such a fantastic match, like I said, the first thing was the wall strategy, then the TNB turtle strategy, then EXE going for the right stronghold, you guys eventually figuring out how to take it, which you eventually did. I think that was one of the very key pivotal moments in the match. I was rooting for you guys from the beginning in the chat because EXE is my boys. You guys did give me the shout out, did give me the opportunity to join the guild, but things didn't work out. Probably mostly because of my end, but things didn't work out, and I had to go to a planet to do some growing, which I'm still doing right now, so that I could come back and I really can't compete at that level at this point in the game. But you did guys give me that shot to record, EXE in one run, so EXE always in my heart. I was rooting for you guys. I dropped a money bag in the beginning of the thing. I was like, yo, taking all bets. I think EXE is going to take it. And looking at the battlefield, one thing that I noticed very, very early in the recording I did yesterday of the battle, TNB had the numbers too. They looked like they had a larger presence of arcs on the battlefield. I think that also added into the reason why they had such a point lead. But also, obviously it's from battle results, but like troops killed. But what I'm saying also, I think is the presence of arcs. And another thing I want to say, what I noticed about EXE had some killers. Oh my god, you guys had some of the best Walker players. Ramrod, there was like an Asian elf player also. You guys had some of the best infantry players. I saw freaking test subject. I saw old man. You know what I mean? You guys have some of the best airship players. I saw Harris in there with his Orochi, his Black. You know what I mean? Just there's more names, but those are the ones that jump out to me, and those are the people that have been on my platform, covering Arc of War, coming out, correcting me if I say anything wrong, or just dropping knowledge bombs for the whole community. So those are the people that popped in my eyes. I was like, wow, EXE is goddamn stacked, bro. So like I couldn't think of any high-ranking players that was on the TNB side that was like a well-known infantryman or the well-known Walker main or a well-known airship main. But I know the Iron Fist Craig the Evan player made a name for himself. Us watching, we just love that guy. But what would you guys say were like the shadow horses of this match? Obviously, it was the Black, and I think Evan put in a little bit of work. But actually being on the battlefield, so this is both EXE and Raziel. Who did you guys think overperformed? Is what the true answer, the true question is here.
What do you mean overperformed on TNB side?
Overall in the match, who did like in the match? We know.
I mean, I got thrown.
Yeah,
I got thrown around like a rag doll. Since I lost those troops in cast, man, I used to be able to beat the Orochis, and that now I wasn't able to. It was like really disappointing. So yeah, I still made 1.6 bill points, but I mean I had to earn that for sure. You know, I mean they're a strong team, and when people make mistakes in cast like that, I mean that's it can happen. That's why I got much respect for EXE to still do cast 10 and still show up like that in GC. It's well respected.
Yeah. So to make my question easier, is like, who did you guys feel were the MVPs that you didn't expect to be the MVPs?
On EXE side, you got to give it to Harris. I mean, Harris was definitely doing a phenomenal job.
Oh, neat.
Shit. Let's see. Ronan, you were doing a good job. I mean, your Ochi's pretty solid, man. I'm gonna tell you that. It's pretty solid. I attacked it a few times trying to see if I get lucky.
I'm a plasma main.
Shit, you got tested.
Ronan's a plasma main.
Yeah, I'm a fucking plasma main, bro.
Yeah,
I thought you had a Orochi. I'm pretty sure I hit an Orochi.
That might have been Wild or Nacho if it wasn't Harris.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, no, you test subject 100%. I think he made #1 points on EXE side. That is a good comment, Sar. That is a commander that's probably going to be in the meta for a long time. We had a couple of those on our side as well. I mean, realistically, man, I'll be honest with you. We had a strategy of we had 4 or 5 people specifically designated to clear the loss counter.
Yep.
On EXE, and nobody was allowed to send in there because we did not want to add an extra loss. So knowing that these 4 or 5 guys that we sent in there, they have probably 2 or 3 max lead commanders. So Evan has an elf, he has a Craig. I can't remember if he has another one.
He has an elf, he has a Craig, he has an Orochi, he has a Black.
Yeah, he's pretty stacked in there, so you got to look at it this way. Like our strategy was to let a specific set of people that we knew that can clear counters with different formations, and that's what they're designed to do because they have so many different types of utilities in their pocket, you know, that they spent with their pocket, I'm sure. But yeah,
that's part of the difference, right, Rizal, between EXE and TNB is like when you're looking at it historically, and Reggie, you talked about, you know, not really knowing some of these big players from TNB, but the core of TNB has been a really strong Chinese GB guild for 5-6 seasons now. Like these guys are players who've they've got multiple championships. Exactly. So they have a huge wallet, and they also know how to play the game really, really well. So like these are some whales that move in silence. You know, when you come to the EXE side, right? We didn't even get our first billion player. Probably, I think what XP, it was only like 2 seasons ago is when 406 first reached over 1 billion. All of our players are built in-house. So everyone that we have that is over 1 bill, we've grown basically and made those arcs, you know, developing those within EXE. So when you look at, you know, having an Evan with 5 or 6 max comms and, you know, having a lot of the power centered behind those 4 guys, EXE takes a different approach. We have a wolf pack style fighting approach that just leads and correlates to a difference of strategy, right? And the implementation on both sides, it's a finals match. Each team's going to play to win. And the fact that the match went down to the last 15, 20 minutes, right? It just came down to which team made the least amount of mistakes in that specific match. And yesterday, we were out coordinated. We made 1 or 2 more mistakes than TNB did. And that's what cost us the battle, right? But we played competitively until that last 20 minutes. So it could have gone either way until we got locked out that final time. And that's what, you know, we as a team did everything we could do to implement our strategy, and that's the lessons that we've taken that we'll work on to tweak for next season.
Yeah.
You did well on that comment. I will say this: TNB has only ever achieved, I think, 2 first place victories in Galactic Battle. I want to say one of the first seasons TNB acquired a win, and after that, I think
it was like 5th.
It's one of the it's one of the first 5, I think.
Yeah.
It was early on.
Yeah, that's right.
But this guild's been around for a long time, and I never thought that it was going to be this challenging to work with a team that I can't like coordinate with, as well as talking to somebody in English. You know what I mean? And actually, what helped us this season is before, if you look at the GC history for the playoffs, you remember a guild called Cup? That's where we got Yes, that's where we got Evan. That's where we got all these other people in this season. They moved to our server. Everything moved it over, and became one whole family over here. And that's how we were coordinating this season.
Can I just real quick say a couple of things? I was
Sure.
on the server 859, I think it was 857, with Cup, which was Evan and Ugg and a few others. My server at the time, or my guild at the time, was GRS. We moved to 780 and joined EXE, and they moved a couple of times, I think. But I recognized Evan's name and I recognized Ugg's name. Raziel, tell them. Great respect to Evan. I hate that guy. I hate that guy. But I got a lot of
people.
He's done.
A lot of people hate Chinese people. It's all right.
No, I don't hate him for that. I hate him just because he was the bully on my server when things went wrong. The other thing I just really want to quick say is, we've talked, and I've heard a couple of people say, the signal interference saved TNB. It didn't. It helped, but at the end of the day, and I just want to give props, TNB executed their strategy perfectly. And EXE came in and had a strategy, and we executed it almost perfectly.
Absolutely.
And that's why it came down to the last 20 minutes. Great matchup between 2 great guilds, and I'm just super proud to have been part of it.
Right, it was the last 11 minutes, actually. Let's just go down to the biting your fingernails right there. You guys did a really good job. To speak of Evan, he's actually pretty quiet. He hardly talks anymore. He hardly talks in guild chat. He hardly talks in WeChat. He don't talk in world chat. So maybe he's changed. I mean,
well, years ago when I was in UN1, our boss player never talked. So
most of them don't.
Yeah.
Also,
to go back to the question though and everything, like TNB definitely, they've been around for a while. If you want to go back to like who gives props with, we're gonna go Evan. Yeah, he was definitely massacring some stuff with that big ass elf. That was a tough one to counter. And then he had
the elf was the rough
Craig.
one.
Yeah, and then the Craig, you know what I'm saying? He had a good combination of players there. And then I got to give it to, I don't know his name. I apologize. But I just know him by the commander, that black with 1988 per slot. That guy was a beast of a black. It was heck. That was nice.
Yeah.
So
Do
you want to know what he? Do you want to know what he goes by?
Yeah, sure.
The Black Great Wall.
What the hell?
That's literally what he goes by. That's his name in TNB WeChat.
The Black Great Wall. Jesus Christ.
Yes, I mean the Wall of Death.
All right.
Yeah.
So my man was definitely good on that side. As far as like on the EXE side and everything like that, you got to give props where props are due. Of course, Tess was there. Of course, that old man. You had some really good play. Ronan coming out with that plasma, getting some victories in a row. There was a lot of good, like, overall. But as far as, like, EXE is overall, there was a lot of really good performances. Really too tough to kind of say, hey, who was an MVP? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Tess definitely worked that. Harris definitely worked that. Old man definitely worked that. Ronan did. I did myself. There was a lot of players together that worked that. You know what I'm saying? The TNB, they had 5 or 6 really working that counter. Like Raz said, that's what they do. That's their strategy. Been their strategy for years now. Like literally, like I remember back when I was in hot, and before we came over to the EXE, I remember when I was in hot, and we had to fight them to get into the playoffs or fight them in the playoffs, and we literally had to do a point strategy against them, and we kind of came back in and had to do some things and everything like that. But at the same time, that strategy works really well, especially if you have a couple of guys sending. You know what I'm saying? Limited sending, and that's how they got it. You know what I'm saying? So that was a really good strategy on there, and I do give them props for props. That was really good. So,
Can I give you guys some props?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
So, all right. So when y'all took that right stronghold, right? Y'all had a good foothold going on, right? And it was actually kind of y'all filled up my fucking med bay because I was out of gold, I was out of speed ups, and I couldn't heal anything. Thank God I have like 90 million Ranger, or not 90 million fucking Yetis, right?
Yeah.
So, like literally, y'all had me jumping around. Like when y'all jumped into our side over there, that y'all should have done that earlier. For me to tell you straight up, like if you guys would have did that a lot earlier, I think you guys would have had the battle. I really do. Like even 5 minutes earlier, I think you guys would have had that battle because we had to literally find our biggest player, figure out where he's at, and then like literally circle them. All 5 of them. We all had to circle them, and like literally that was a really good strategy. Like that really could have almost costed the game right there for us, for sure. And that I got to give y'all props for that. Great thinking, 100%.
Yeah. Let me jump in a little bit there. As Raziel was saying that, I want to let EXE know that trust me, guys. When I was commentating that match, bro, I felt like John Madden. The level of strategy executed by EXE, nobody scoffed at the points. Nobody looked at the points like, whoa, they're losing horribly behind on points, like 20 billion points. No, everybody, like if you were watching my channel, I literally was like, yo, EXE is killing it. They have the great wall up. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're jumping over. They have, I think it was like Silent Killer that was over there on TNB side next to the main getting vision of the main base, the capital. Also getting vision earlier on, and it's just like everything that you guys were doing, like everybody that was watching saw it. Like nobody looked at the match and was like, I think EXE is losing just clearly off of points. It was like, no, EXE is kicking ass. Like EXE is clearly saying, yo, we're gonna win this purely off strategy. We're seasoned veterans. We got this. And I literally was driving to work like, yo, if EXE pulls this off with the capital, bro, like who like, I have never seen such strategy. Like you guys taught me GC just from watching that battle. Like before I would watch GC and be like, yeah, kind of this is what's going on, that's what's going on. Seems pretty basic. Watching EXE execute that strategy and watching TNB still like adjusting the best that they can, I was just like, oh shit, yo, hold up, man. Like I was mad that I couldn't finish commentating that match because like I was really like in John Madden mode commentating like strategy versus just a point win. How I even counted the time that you guys had literally if EXE holds it down for the next 40 minutes on this timer or the next 50 minutes on this timer, we can see this match completely. Like I even broke down the rules on how you win a match, just so everybody that was watching could truly understand the strategy that you guys were employing. And man, mad kudos, man. Like honestly, like nobody is gonna think that you guys are like you guys are first place material. Everybody saw it. You know what I mean? So kudos to everybody at EXE, and once again TNB for holding off that assault, man. God damn, that was a run for the money. I just want to give a chance. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, one thing I'd like to add to that and to what you're saying is, if you look at the different strategies in GB, attacking is always going to be a lot more difficult than defense because, I mean, if you were commentating the whole match, you saw multiple times EXE was able to take TNB structures, multiple times from them, whereas to lock us out of the main, it took them a considerable amount of more time, right? But when you have attackers coming in at a 4 to 5, I mean, we have guys like Neva, Foe, Naksho who are dedicated to helping counter and making sure that the lost counter doesn't go down, because as a defender, when you're attacking and trying to hold a structure, it is a lot more difficult, right? So there is a lot more coordination for a guild who wants to do that kind of strategy effectively. Like TNB strategy is completely sound, right? But it's a lot easier to tell most of the players to not send and have them do absolutely no sending to that and just have 4 to 5 guys coordinate the entire battle and win it that way, right? When you're trying to coordinate, 80 to 90 players doing all independent organized work, it requires multiple nucleuses of people coordinating, smaller groups and all that, and making sure everyone is in tune with that. So, the amount of strategy that we're trying to coordinate to pull off a win like that, and again, we just made 1 or 2 mistakes more in this match that cost us that, victory. But it is something that, guilds like EXE that are more collaborative in nature are trying to take and push to the next level, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was masterclass level, and to go to piggyback off of what you said, there was even a point. I think it was the moment that you guys took the right stronghold. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up here. I think it was towards the. Did I? Hold on, give me 1 second, because I have put the timestamps here of when you guys took over that right stronghold. You had almost 40 players, damn near, in the right stronghold at that point. So it goes right back to what you were saying as far as coordinating all those players. On the offense, you know what I mean? As opposed to saying, yo, no, don't nobody send, we're going to win. Yeah, I have it on stream right now. You guys had that thing loaded. Oh my God. Yeah, this is the last, where is it? I think it's coming up here. But yeah, you guys had that right stronghold loaded, man. At least almost 40 players. And yes, the offense is it's much harder because, like you said, you got to have small groups, small little nucleus groups with battle commanders telling them what to do, and as opposed to saying, guys, we have more arcs, we're gonna win off points, and have your strongest players just do their thing. You know what I mean? Like, everybody get in the corner, don't die, don't be scared. We'll figure this thing out. But I do want to give a chance for XP and Foe to go ahead and give their intro. So if we can get XP or Foe, go ahead and tell the people who you are, your in-game name, and give a little intro. Foe?
Yeah. So, well, I don't play as often anymore. I just help coordinate nowadays. So, yesterday I was in charge of the left side and some of the offensive portion for the attacking. So the jumping portion. Beyond actually helped me out too, but he was a very important part of that role too. So. But yeah, so most of you guys, what you guys said, I concur. I agree with you. TNB played one hell of a game. It would prove interesting and difficult at the same time. So it was very dynamic for sure. We had to adjust. If you watch the match from beginning to end, it was very dynamic. We moved left to right and forward based on whatever the needs are. So we coordinated between I think 3 or 4 other commanders as well.
All right, perfect. And XP, you there, brother? I know you got your mic muted. You there? He probably just stepped away. Foe. Yeah, right. There you go.
2 minutes, sorry.
Give me 2 minutes. Oh, 2 minutes? Not a problem. Perfect. And Foe, can you quickly tell the people, how long you've been playing? Have you been playing far back since the Rogers meta, or even before Rogers came out? How long you been playing? What was your roots?
Probably way before Rogers came out.
Yeah. Would you go so far as to say the 2014 beta?
No, not that far. I think I started playing probably about when this game was about a year old.
Oh, okay, for sure. But now, and thank you for joining us. I might as well have called this the EXE interview. It's I know the time constraint.
As it should be.
Yeah, I know the time constraint was very hard for TNB, so I might have to do one at the opposite time zone so that we can get more of TNB's take on it. And there's a translator that we're going to use so that we can get more of the internationals to drop knowledge on their 2 cents. I'm going to try to make this show a very international show and so that people can speak and then have AI or whatever the case may be translate it so that we can unify the community, because I think that'll bring it a lot closer to where it should be. But once again, so we covered the beginning part, the middle, The middle, I think, was the right stronghold. And once the right stronghold was taken, if you watch the stream that I did yesterday, Black Wrath had called it like immediately. Like once we knew that EXE, everybody knew EXE was like the last maybe the last 5 minutes of that right stronghold being taken. You could already see TNB start loading up the capital. Raziel, I'm gonna let you start with this one. What were you guys thinking in the last 5 minutes when EXE was taking that right stronghold, and you guys just said, "All right, guys, let's go start sending people to the capital. Let's get it loaded up." What was the mindset there, and what were you guys thinking as far as the pressure of the match and the pace that EXE was setting?
So we said, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, as I said before, we were not trying to go crazy with the battle. We knew that we needed to be well mannered, well disciplined, and understood on what we needed to do. So we were told to fill up that capital to keep it as long as possible before they take it, because we knew that we could reset them. And the reason why we knew it is because if we can reset them in a capital that takes 30 minutes to achieve multiple times, we knew for a fact that we can do it multiple times in the main base. So instead of sending points to just for cannon fodder, if you want to call it, like literally, we knew that we were going to be able to reset them. It's just a matter of time. And watching how EXE adjusted to it when they started sending the blacks into that capital, we had to make adjustments during that. So eventually, when it got down to the last wire of that actual right stronghold, we were like, all right, let them take it. Let them take it. We'll work on our defense again down over here. And see, like I said before, if EXE would have started attacking our arcs down there to try to like disorient us earlier, they could have won the game, because they knew pretty much who they needed to attack, and they would go through everybody to get to them. And it got to the point where like literally it almost took a whole hour to reset that main base. So I give them props for that. They really did a really fucking great job. Like it was a nail biter for sure.
Add something.
You go from you covered your main arcs, right?
Yeah, he did.
Circled them, protected them. Yeah. As soon as they would jump somewhere, we all jumped around them.
Love that. Thank you for that.
So can I add something too?
Go ahead.
I think piggyback to your point, when we're on the offensive mode to attacking your main capital, I think our biggest downfall was, again, like you said, not attacking you guys sooner in, or the other decision that we failed and we realized it, but it was too late, is we should have taken the other stronghold too. And that way we could have split the fighting down the middle, and then let our team work the counter side, and so it forces you into two separate fights. So as soon as that second stronghold collapsed, if it collapsed, then I mean the game was ours essentially. And I think that was the biggest mistake that
we were working our strongholds in a timely manner. All right, yeah. So like we would watch you go to the right stronghold, we'd clear it, we'd see y'all fill the main base, we'd let it sit for a little bit, all right, and then we'd clear it. By the time y'all are seeing you're about to get cleared, you'd go back to the right stronghold, and then y'all didn't really focus on the left too much because we had that pretty guarded. It was kind of, even though it was hard for me to even try to send to it.
No, not earlier than that. I'm saying before I think it was probably the two times before the actual reset for the main capital. So it was we still had at least an hour and 50 or maybe 2 hours left.
I got you.
Yeah.
I will say this: when y'all chose to start using more blacks in your formation, that was really actually good, and like 100%, like that really screwed some of the guys up, because most of y'all's blacks actually have a guaranteed hit. So, and plus y'all got some good gear on your blacks too. So when you see the Iron Craig and the Comet Czar coming towards y'all, I was watching them lose in that main base towards the end of the match a lot more than what they were earlier. I don't know what y'all did to coordinate it differently, but y'all really did a really good job keeping them from just attacking one arc, and I was watching them lose battles instead of win them. So whatever you guys did, y'all do that next time, okay? Because y'all were doing some really good fucking improvements on the end of that battle.
Oh, he wants to be a part of EXE.
Yeah. Dude, who doesn't want to? Like, the main question is, who doesn't want to be a part of EXE? Because honestly, no, for real. Like, as a spectator, I'm telling you, Black Wrath said it. Like, I'm trying to think of the analogy that he said. He was like basically saying like the level of strategy that EXE was using, like, shows that, like, yo, you guys have like the highest level of understanding of what needs to be happening in a GC strategically. Like, what limits do a team what limits does a team have if they don't have the perfect communication or perfect understanding of how to counter? Oh damn, they have a wall up. Oh damn, they have guys jumping over to our side to get vision of the objectives and our base. They're pressuring all three objectives while leaving one loosely open. They're also hitting arcs. Like, you know what I mean? There were so many moving parts. Clearly, EXE was a monster of its own. Black Wrath said he was like this is the difference between like the softball and like the NFL. Like the dude was like, he had made some analogy. He was like, that's why I always watch these, because like these are the matches that really teach you how to play the game. And everybody would just look at EXE and be like, I wish I was in a chat with them just to hear about the knowledge that's being dropped. Like, I almost think that you guys were running sim battles during the GC just to figure out how to knock out certain people. You know what I mean? It was beautiful to watch.
Actually, some of them were.
Yeah, of course, bro. You could tell, nigga. It was too perfect. Like trust me, like when you watch certain things, you just know that's not a blind send. You know what I mean? When you watch how you guys took the right stronghold, it was like we watched the struggle to the build up of taking it, because I think there was maybe 2-3 times the Black had cleared you guys out of the right stronghold at the last like 10 minutes and then 15 minutes, and then I was like, damn, okay, that Black's gonna keep clearing. And then I was like, I even said it during the stream, I was like, yo, I bet they're running sims right now to figure out how to keep this right stronghold, and once they've achieved that, they're gonna run the same strategy, if not better, on the main one. And I think that the strategy that you guys adjusted to was that you started to send your own Blacks versus TNB's Black, along with it was Black, Plasma, not in this order, but it was definitely like Dragon Slayer, Plasma, and Black. It seemed like that was the counter that you guys wanted to line up versus that Black. Am I correct, or kind of in the ballpark of what you guys were doing?
Maybe not really.
Just say sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
just
yeah.
say sure. Maybe a mechanical puppet was in the mix too. I definitely remember seeing mechanical puppet. But essentially, I think what the main difficulty as a viewer is what the hardest part about it is, once the person has a 3-piece Sunraven set, now you're not only looking at, hey, okay, how we're gonna beat this Black, it's how we're gonna beat this Black that has first strike. Would you guys agree with that?
I disagree.
Okay, what are some of the difficulties, as the spectators couldn't really pick up on that you guys are dealing with on the battlefield?
So one thing I'll add real quick is
Thank
EXE
you.
in our long-term strategy for this season specifically is we foresaw that the major guilds would be at an advantage the more 3 pieces they had, right? So in our mindset of what was going to be that final match, if we had made it to that point, was we'd be fighting a guild with way more Sunraven pieces than we did. And in this season's meta, if you look at Cass and others, Blacks are built a very specific way with that 3-piece for the most part, right? So we were running a lot of arcs to combat, that, and you saw the tweaks in real time, from Foe, from Neva, from Naksha, from all these arcs to, kind of account for that, because the lineup that TNB had, distribution-wise and gear-wise is different than the guild that we were actually gearing up to fight in that final match. And, guys, feel free to disagree, but that's I do feel like that was part of something we had to account for as well.
I did a full change in GB.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Ronan. Yes, we prepped up to we prepped up for an FBI battle or a DZG battle. To be real with you, we prepped up. We got a lot of Sunravens. We got a lot of counters for Sunraven. We was ready for that. those nasty tank black builds were really, really impressive, and your tank elves are really impressive. So y'all definitely are out. Y'all definitely have y'all's own little counter to the meta yourselves. So that was really good on y'all's part.
I want to give Evan and his Craig props too, because it proved a lot, quite difficult initially for us. And about probably 30 minutes in, that's when we realized how to counter him. And so at that point in time, it was just a matchup game, and he played it well too. By the way, once he knew that we knew what he wasn't good at, he immediately adjusted to it. So that's why he sent other things other than Craig all the time afterward.
Right. Yes. And I think is anybody else to say anything else on that point? Because I definitely want to switch topics to something that is always of debate. But anyone got anything else they want to drop in on that point?
Yeah, last part, Reggie, on something you mentioned was, you saw EXE doing all these different strategies at the same time, right? And, that kind of goes back to the style that we've built just due to kind of our origin, right? Because you have guilds in GB that have been able to muscle their way through and win surely on massive momentum in the past, right? But EXE has always had to milk every single competitive advantage we can have, right? So every player needs to be pulling their maximum output. I mean, that's the theory behind it. We need to have the most bang for our buck because we simply just didn't have the same type of firepower that other guilds were able to face. And, you can see that 4 seasons ago when we were fighting guilds like FBI and punching up, we were still able to fight them just because of the coordination. So we tried to bring everything to the table in a way that benefits our player base. And obviously we still have a long way to go with our coordination and with our strategy and with getting our players, even more adapted to the meta, right? If you don't adapt in this game, if you're not agile, Beyonder, you might like that, you'll die. Like you can't just stay 3 seasons behind. Like you always have to be adjusting. And I think that's one thing that EXE is really good at is, as you saw in the battle, our players were making tweaks to their gear and to their marches to keep up, right? So next battle again, we have more information to take to the battlefield again.
Absolutely, we definitely know the next match is going to be a slobber knocker, man. And trust me, like these are not just like empty words. You guys made me feel like John Madden coaching that match. Like I may not know of everything that was happening, but everything that I saw and was able to perceive, it made me it lit a fire in me. Like, yo, there is this deep ass game that, like, you know what I mean, like that I can cover for everybody to watch, and I can slowly, like, it's gonna take me probably like 2 years, who freaking knows, but as my career changes, I'll be able to invest more in Arc of War and become more of these amazing battles. But you guys lit the fire in me and showed me and a lot of people that were watching. I know I was speaking for a lot of people who tuned in. You guys lit the fire in the hearts, man. Like, that was such a passionate, close game that nobody was sitting there, not for a second during watching TNB versus EXE. I was like, man, these motherfuckers just spent so much money on the game. Not for a second. It was like, look at this goddamn strategy, bro. I'm seeing Stella's. Yo, Stella's still in the meta. I'm seeing Black. I'm seeing a Mechanical Puppet knock out Orochi. I'm seeing Elf do put in some work. I'm seeing Iron Fist Craig. I'm like, ooh shit, Iron Fist Craig is top 5 or some shit. Like, it was so entertaining that it wasn't about money. It really wasn't about money. It was literally points versus strategy. Can TNB lock you guys out? Can TNB, not send the marchers that's gonna lock themselves out? It was just a beautiful thing to watch. I promise you, nobody was watching that and thinking this is a whole like money scandal. Like, it was literally pure technique, strategy, and an awesome match to watch.
Yeah, there's a place for everyone, right? And that's what we want to try to build and encourage, right? Being more of a family style guild and not wanting to leave the players we played with behind. One of our best players and, someone in our meta is Arc of Bane. He has a fairly small arc with not even full 50 gear, and he's fighting these top meta just because he understands the theory behind the different mechanics that go into the gameplay, right? Like, some of the replays that he has with his little Stella,
yes,
fucking kick ass.
Bro, hold on real quick, right there on that point, bro. There was a replay. I literally said it on stream. He had like 100 in each slot of tier 12, and he destroyed somebody with thousands. I was like, yo, that's probably the best replay I've ever seen. I was like, yes, Arc of Bane was definitely a killer. EXE was stacked as far as skill level, like skill level strategy. Y'all are stacked. I don't think I've seen a team perform at that level with so many like well accredited names. But like you said, TNB has a group that kind of moves in silence, like the silent whales, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Let me see here. I wanted to go ahead and switch gears into everybody's favorite topic. Let's start with so I'll just name it this.
I got the block talking to me in WeChat right now.
Yo, get him over here, bro.
I'm trying. He's asking me, "Can you understand Chinese?" And we don't have a thing to. All right, so in WeChat we have something where you can actually press and say you get 3 different languages, right? You got English, you got Mandarin, and you got Cantonese, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually talk what you want to say into it with Cantonese, but you got to remember, be mindful for what you say, because our slang, our words, if we even sound our words a little differently, it might put up something completely different.
All right.
So talking to a Chinese person, you literally can actually offend them with literally just saying like something very nice.
Yeah. How about this?
So
I would say this. We have everybody here, mostly here, so this is the better platform at the moment. So what I would say is tell him to go ahead and get as many players from his time zone coordinated for part 2. I want to do a TNB. It's going to be the WeChat, basically the WeChat interview. Because right now we have so many mix of TNB and EXE in this chat that it would be a shame to kind of switch over for one player. You know what I mean? That's illogical. But yeah, just go ahead and try to tell him, hey, listen, right now we're on Discord, and unless you're able to come over to the Discord and really talk and kind of listen to us in English, and I don't know whatever application he has.
Discord is not allowed in China.
Yeah, so that's what I would say right now. Just go ahead and tell him I can set him up for the part 2 interview. And just get everybody ready on his time zone. If he can just start establishing that, I would say.
I'll discuss it with him. All
right, perfect. But this is the topic that I want to go ahead and switch into because I think we've touched on the beginning of the match. That was great. The Great Wall, the jumping over, the EXE setting the pace. We jumped to the middle, which was kind of like the obtaining the whole journey to figuring out, oh damn, this black is knocking us out twice. We got in, boom. We were running the simulations, we were countering them, boom, and then finally the right stronghold was taken. I think that was like basically the middle that showed everybody like, yo, EXE, we're still in this. Fuck them damn points. Like we about to win the capital after this. And then TNB saying, yo, we're gonna let them take the right. There's not much we can do about that. And matter of fact, let me ask one question. I know the viewers are gonna be mad about. Hey, Raziel, you there, brother? Raziel.
Yeah, what's up?
Real quick, let me ask you this question. I know people are gonna be mad if I don't ask you this. So, what was the difference? Like, why was EXE able to take the right stronghold, and like you guys had to let that go as opposed to taking the capital? When it came to the capital, what was different about it? Like, why were you guys more confident in defending the capital versus the right stronghold?
As we said, it was a time-based game.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't really worried about making a lot of points. We weren't really worried about sending in crazy. Like, we have specific people. Even me, I was designated on the right side, but after losing those troops in Cass, I decided not to lose extra points for the team. Because I've tried to... Every Orochi that I sent to, I tried to hit them to see if I'd win, and I lost. So I was eventually, I changed my own designation to Arc Killers or something like that. But when it comes to that right stronghold, we really weren't worried about keeping it. We did this last battle with the EXE right before playoffs started. The same thing we did to them last time is what we did today. Or not today, but yesterday. We really were not worried about like going on the offense. Like, we kind of let them just beat themselves up. Like, you send the wrong things in the capital, the wrong marches, and don't take it lightly. You guys are great. You send a Reinhardt or a small Hancock or a small Plasma or something like that. Like, that's going to increase your loss counter. So take this as a lesson to learn. Like, that little strategy that we use is what worked. And just I watched a few different like T2 Reinhardt's in there when the block was in there. Like, if I was your leader, I would have told them Reinhardt's to get the fuck out of the capital. That's what I would have done. But, so, we weren't worried about the right stronghold. We knew eventually it was going to get lost, just like the last battle we had with them. So, but when it came with the main base, if we can clear them in 30 minutes of the main base, you have a whole hour to do the main base. So, I mean,
and the timer the timer for the strong the capitals are what? I mean, the strongholds are what again?
30 minutes.
Ah, got you. That's another key thing. I don't know why.
So if we can clear them in 30 minutes with our strategy, then we know for a fact that we can clear them within an hour.
Got you. Okay.
But they did a great fucking job on that ending of that last final area. Like I didn't think we were going to clear y'all.
Yeah,
I was wondering. I was like, this loss counter is not there. I was like, what?
So, Reggie, in these high meta games, and you don't see it just in EXE fights, right? You see other guilds fighting this way too. It doesn't matter if you lose one stronghold, and guilds can even fight without two strongholds, right? The main is really the only way to KO. So, like, if we win a stronghold, we don't. It doesn't necessarily help our positioning that much, except that we get to reallocate those assets to, fight in another theater, right? What EXE should have been able to do yesterday, and, there's a lot of improvements that we've already taken away in our fight debrief and, lessons that we want to implement for next season. But, the value of taking a stronghold and gaining that vision to the main directly in a fight like that is, they run out of more places to hide, right? And if we had taken both the right and left stronghold, like Fo called out earlier, we would have been able to essentially target Evan and all the big players at any time. They would not have been able to clear us, and that's what Rizal's pointing out is towards the end, we had an entire force dedicated to making sure that, that was part of the strategy, is making sure that they can't, disrupt or take us out of the main. So if we had vision to the entire board, it would have been a game changer, right? So that's one of the mistakes in the match yesterday, is not prioritizing taking the left, fully, and we fully understand and own that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have to chime in.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though, if you guys would have tried to take that base too, the left stronghold, we most likely would have cleared you again too. But I think you probably would have got closer to your adaptation. Hold on, no, you would have got closer to your adaptation point, to the point where if you were countering us on the right side like that, where we couldn't keep it, I think you would have done a better job if you focused on the left cap. I agree with him. If you focused on the left cap and actually did that, you actually guys could have won the game, because you already had a clear path of what you need to do with the blacks and whatnot y'all introduced and whatnot.
So to Ronan's point, if we targeted your other stronghold, it would have split your forces, essentially. So it would have taken you twice as long to clear us, right? You have to pick a stronghold, or you have to pick the main capital. So that being said, it would technically have taken you longer to clear us, right?
I agree.
So, yeah. So that, by definition, that means that you had to either pick a stronghold or the capital. So if you want it, and if the capital gets down to 30 minutes, or the stronghold, the time is getting close, but you have to focus on the capital, that just gives us, the stronghold, that would just gives us way more ammo to fight you in the capital even if you reset it, right? So that means that we had almost a whole 30 minutes of free time on the main base.
I completely agree with you. Like, I'm not denying all that at all. Y'all had a good strategy. I'm not gonna lie, y'all really did. I really do think though, and take this in consideration to your next season. Like you face first guild, sometimes they like to send somebody up close to the main base first, right? Like you might see Tibor go up there to the top of the base, or somebody else, and Tibor will garrison them. So they always have first strike, right? And always win. Take what you learned from this battle, because most likely you're gonna probably face first next season. Like I think that they're gonna go all hard out on GC next season.
Yeah, we've played first, and I mean, we have a good relationship with Regal and Tibor, as much shit as we give each other, and they're a solid team. We love fighting them, but we've done it before, and we'll fight again. But I mean, we've done the same strategy, right? Like you had Silent Killer and 2 or 3 other players down at the TNB main already from the start, just to kind of split forces again. So I mean, we hear you, but it's already in consideration, right? I mean, we don't play to counter a single strategy. We play to counter and be able to have something to counter anything that we face, right? So we're not just locked in the mindset of strategy of how to beat a game like TNB. We have understanding of each guild's major play style and how we would best want to fight that, right? And then it's up to us, and our execution is, can we be coordinated enough? Can we be disciplined enough to pull off our ideal strategy against the guild style that we're playing?
Well, I get it. That's understandable.
Yeah. And
now I got a question for you though. What do you think you guys could have done better? And I'll go ahead and give mine too.
You going first, or you want us to go?
Oh, you go first. Go ahead. No, I don't want to overtalk, so I have a history of that.
No. So one thing, and NevXP, I mean, Beyonder, you're part of all that coordination as well, now that we're the last 4, right? But one thing that we're going to continue to work on is how do we strengthen and improve that Wolfpack mentality, right? Getting the EXE way to attack as a group and have everyone act as a fighting force is great, but that coordination needs to be great. You called out we had some shitty marches going in and costing us loss counter. Oh, we know it. You know, we have players like Harris who are very passionate, very talented players that expect nothing but the best from their team. And right now, we're not fully there yet, right? We still have work to do to get to a point where everyone's fighting at the same level of caliber. So we have a lot to do on improving coordination. And, you know, it kind of maybe sounds a little ironic because, I mean, as Reggie said, that's one of our strongest points, right? Is, you know, the EXE fighting style and, you know, the knowledge we have. Well, we think we're severely lacking, or there's a lot to improve on for that still. So, I mean, our biggest deployment or asset is also the biggest thing that we want to continue to improve, because there's a lot of things that we identified on how we can change that coordination or improve it and streamline it. And, you know, that doesn't have to be discussed here and there on the call, but, you know, you get the idea, is we are constantly looking for ways to self-improve and not say that, hey, we know the right way to do it. We're always wanting to learn.
Yeah, and I just want to say that's very commendable of EXE. Just know that, like, however you guys feel, I can promise you, if you talk to anybody who watched that GC match, you inspired. The battle lit the fire in everybody's hearts again to not, you know, think that, you know, it's all pay to win. It's like I'm not for a second that I think about a dollar amount. I just saw a really great battle, like. We all know the actual fight itself kind of happens on like autoplay, back and forth, and the skills go off this and that. It wasn't even about that. It was literally like the objectives, how it was being taken, the strategy that was being played. It was a treat to watch. Like, you guys literally brought forth like the greatest parts about Arc of War yesterday in that battle between EXE and TNB. So just know that, the fact that you guys even want to go better. And matter of fact, speaking of which, this was the replay that I was talking about on the stream. It was Arc of Bane versus Nan, Nan, his War Machine. Bro, Arc of Bane destroys this entire march, which is 4,000 in slot 1, 4,000 in slot 2, 4,000 in slot 3, and I think it was another 6,000 in slot 6. Jesus Christ, Arc of Bane, shout out to you, bro. Everybody that's watching the stream just saw that replay. And then here's Arc of Bane versus a black player. Honestly, Arc of Bane, shout outs to you, bro. You're killing it. But just to finish off the point, seriously, EXE, the fact that you guys are still saying, we got to work on the communication, we got to do better, and you guys lit the fire in everybody's heart yesterday, just know that, like, seriously, just ensure that nobody quits on your guys' end. Nobody gets all sourpuss about, like, getting second place, and support your guys, like, so that they stick around. We want to see more of EXE. We already know you guys are a dominant force, but now, honestly, you guys are my favorite team as far as, everybody has a favorite player. You guys are my favorite players. The strategy that was employed was impeccable, was amazing. The fact that you guys are going to do better, you guys are going to be fucking godlike. So that's what I'll say about that.
I'll say this. All right, guys. you got us down to the last 11 minutes of the match, right? After we would have not won if you kept that capital at all. You guys did a fucking phenomenal job. You are a top 4 team. I think you're a top 1 team next season.
Facts.
All right, so nothing but respect to you guys, and I'm not sitting here kissing your ass. I'm happy in TNB, but I think you guys you did a really fucking great job, and I actually mean that from the heart. So I don't want y'all thinking, and that's why I'm kind of monitoring what I'm saying, because I don't want y'all thinking I'm saying anything that's out of place to make y'all feel bad or anything like that. I'm not that type of guy. So, but y'all did an amazing fucking job, and I'd like to see y'all improve on this.
Yeah, you guys
We
inspired me.
appreciate it. Yeah, and Reggie, what you said means a lot. So, thanks for, I think that's the one thing that, Neva, I think I've accomplished what I wanted to do in Arc of War, so I'm gonna retire and leave it to you and XP and Harris and them. Just kidding. But
Yeah, I was about to kill
the whole point is, our top players have all been in, like, the entire top half of our roster has been invited to play with, multiple repeating championship guilds. Like, and it's not just one invite to one system. We've had invites to multiple, right? And there's a reason why the players in EXE have chosen to play in this style, because all these guys that could have a first place badge already just for joining the right team that's already invited them chose to stay in EXE to build something because we want to do it a different way, right? We've turned down merges with bigger guilds or with other guilds just to be on top. We merged with Hot, where Test Subject, where Neva, and some of these guys came from, because it was a good culture fit for both teams. We saw insane potential about combining our groups and becoming something even stronger, because long term we saw that growth was there. There are guilds who have merged in the past strictly for that power to get the results, and philosophical differences, egos, other things get in the way of that, right? You have to be very intentional about the way you grow. So EXE's growth strategy has been very slow but very consistent, because we want our players to do things in the way that we promised that we would do it. So it does mean a lot that you're saying that, because that's ultimately it. Most of our guys could have these trophies by now. They play at that competent level, but they're choosing to do so and not compromising just to win. We're playing the way we want to play.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you for sharing that, because I don't want anybody from EXE to be like, damn, man, what happened this season? No. Guys, to all of you, like to even people that didn't even get to join this chat, you guys inspired us all. That shit was hella inspiring. People in the chat, let them know what you guys thought about. Yeah, Ghost Ship says best spectator GC ever. 100%, bro. That shit was inspiring. Inspiring to watch that match. I'm telling you, it's no bullshit. So all you guys, man, like in our hearts, EXE won first place. TNB, you guys won physically, but EXE's strategy showed that Arc of War has depth that some people have not reached to the bottom of yet. Like TNB left me a little lacking in the sense that, like, I would have loved to see how they counter the wall with the jumping and the not setting the pace of the match. Like, I would have loved to see like something unique on their end instead of just go to the turtle strategy, But who am I to talk? TNB, you guys won in the end. But I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing that I think I wanted physically to happen in the match. Like, maybe a V shape or a triangle shape. Just something weird that I've never seen before to counter the wall. And then that would have made me be like, yo, this shit is better than fucking, like, StarCraft, nigga. Like, this is like, like, it was really that beautiful to watch.
I get it, but we had orders. We had orders to do specific things. Like, my orders were right stronghold. I knew I was giving up too many points. I had to stop. Yeah. So I adjusted my area. I started protecting the people that they told me to protect, and somehow I still made some decent points. But I'll tell you what, though, like, I think EXE, if they can learn from this battle, and they can go again next season and not lose any members, like add more members, I think they got it next season. 100%. They're a good team.
No, deadass, easy peasy, nigga. But real quick, let me shift gears, because I know there's a lot of people that that's hearing us, to review this match. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just wanting to say that one big highlight on this is, I might get overshadowed, is this is the first true season that, since the merge with Hot, that this is our first true season, all of us playing one complete season together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, it is. It's second playoff run, first full season together. We got a lot. We got some growing to do, of course, because we're still relatively new to each other, technically speaking. But at the same time, we've adapted very well since that's happened. We have EXE takes strategy very seriously. We take our family even more serious, and I think that's the difference between us and TNB, things like that, and us and a lot of these major guilds. To piggyback on what Ronan was saying earlier, yeah, we could go do a playoff one and a first place championship with any of the top guilds that normally are there, right? But for us to work as a family and us to work as that guild that really truly cares about one another and how we're going to do these things and what we're going to do and what we're trying to accomplish versus, hey, stick here, you're only stuck to this particular spot. That's the different play styles. You know, we all get involved in fighting, and that sucks. That sucks when you have to be stuck to a specific task, right? But at the same time, man, like I said, I give props where props is due. We got out executed. We did. It was a really, really good battle. Props to y'all strategy, TNB. We knew which y'all were planning to do the whole, from the start, and we like we've said, one or two different mistakes could have been the difference between us winning and losing, and that's what happened. And y'all did very well in executing on our mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a simple. We want to make sure that here in EXE that we have that structure, that we're a top guild, yes, we're a top 4 team, yes, we're a top 2 team, yes. We might have spenders, yes, but not everybody in EXE spends. Not everybody and spends a ton of money. Not everybody is the best fighter, but we're all a family together, and we all work together as that intricate unit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Reggie, one last point to add there from my side. What Nev is saying is, our long-term vision. Just because I've literally played since the 6th server. I've seen so many of these guilds come and go, and guilds burn out, and top players who spend even more than the players playing now have all quit. Right? The big thing for us, and you'll see it in our server history, 780 is the longest lasting server. Like we've stayed a sustainable and profitable enough server long enough just due to the way that we treat things differently. When EXE was first started as a guild, we were fighting a Gray. They were one of the top Chinese guilds in the first few seasons. They made the playoffs a few times back in the original days. But they didn't let Western players farm or have any sort of growth opportunity. When EXE took that server, we decided we wanted to make it fair and for players of all sizes and nationalities to be able to grow. So, currently, EXE, we lead the collective 780. That's how we implement our cast strategy. We have multiple sister guilds. We work with PPP, LKS, and our new sister guild, BDB. But these guilds have players of even smaller sizes, of growing players who want to learn, who are trying to collect the blueprints to be competitive. And they're able to play in a system, get access to our players, get access to players who have more experience than them. They can learn meta, they can learn, different blueprints or different setups. And when they're ready, and as life events change for our roster, we have a healthy queue and backlog of players of all sizes that are ready to support the server, right? So when you're looking at not just GB but CAS, there's competitive advantage to that. We have an entire logistical machine that's united in one server, right? And that's just going to continue to help us in our growth long term. Is the theory is that we'll continue to have players who are passionate about the game and of all sizes.
Yeah, 100%. Once again,
on that?
What's up?
Can I chime in on that?
Oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So who was just speaking? Neva?
No, it's Ronan.
That's
Ronan. Question, brother. This is something I thought would actually probably be beneficial to most of the Western players, actually. Have you thought about making some kind of star alliance with other guilds and other servers and whatnot? If you think about it, you got First Guild that's top notch right now. You got EXE is top notch right now, and EXE you got multiple guys that make playoffs all the time. So that every guild that you have there that can make finals could beneficially be an extra spot that that you guys can win. what's your ideas on possibly making a Star Alliance with like 1267 or another server like SWO and whatnot?
So, I mean, the Western community is already really small, right? It's pretty inbred at this point. Everyone's played or rated against everyone at this point. So, there's definitely value in what you're saying. I think multiple guilds have realized that, and talks have kind of whispered that way for a while. I mean, it really just comes down to, we weren't interested in merging with a guild identity-wise just to win, right? So the same thing kind of applies here is it has to be a good use case with the right people building something that's sustainable. Like, the intent can be to win, but like that's not always the most important thing. So I think there are guilds and players especially that do want to coordinate, that do want to work towards something more as a Western community and less about, individual banners. And I think as the right people come along and build that out, we definitely won't be closed-minded about it, but very, very too soon to tell.
Thought about asking first to team up, or are y'all still kind of salty towards each other? It's a serious question.
I wouldn't say salty is the right word, right? I would say it's more of when two people can punch each other as hard as they want and have fun doing it, that's basically what we do, right? We have tremendous amount of respect for Regal and Tivor's coordination and fighting abilities, right? So again, not ruling anything out, but we definitely have a friendly rivalry of sorts going too, right? So, are we going to punch each other or are we going to, skip around? You see what happens.
It keeps the game fun. All right, it definitely keeps the game fun, especially when you see old friends and whatnot you've battled before, and then you see them again, and then you're like, "Hey, what's up? Well, hopefully, let's see what happens this time. Did you learn anything from last time? I mean, I don't know. This community of this game is so special, and it sucks. I'm like banned from like most Discords and everything, so I'm like blindly playing here with like hardly any community around me anymore, and I'm trying to calm down and take a step back, but I want you guys to know, like, I'm not here to have this conversation with Reggie and you guys to like boast about my win. I wanted the EXE brought in and to talk to each other and coordinate with each other and understand each other if that's the case. Like, I mean, I know you guys got a lot of good guys over there, especially if you got guys from Hot. Like, I know Nav, that's been an old friend for me from the server I first started on. So yeah, like you guys are awesome. So I just want you to know I'm not here to brag about my win. I'm here to have everybody just talk. This is like a lash it out if you want. If you have anything you have to say hate about me, you can say it now though.
Basically, the words you were looking for was just to have an open discourse about the Arc War and the journey and everything. And
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I want to take this moment. Does anybody want to chime in on anything before I switch topics?
You have something to say you hate about me, you better say it now.
Oh my god, dude, you're hilarious. Now, all right, I'll just go ahead and switch topics because I know right now we've talked about the match like above and beyond and the intricacies of it to the best that we're able to without giving out the true secrets and the nitty-gritty stuff. But us players that are watching, we're always thinking to ourselves like, damn, how can we break the meta, or how can we use our favorite commander to kind of get our foot in the door, or like we know I do it on every every little live stream where we get this amount of people together. But let's go ahead and talk about like the commanders on the battlefield, not necessarily the builds too much, because you don't want to give away what someone's been investing on, but necessarily the overall purpose of a commander. So really quickly, if we could just get everybody's like top 5 infantry, top 5 walkers, top 5 airship. We've beaten this list up over and over again. You don't even have to say it in an order, but just for people who are watching to kind of get an understanding of like who did everybody feel commander-wise from each class made a difference on the battlefield. I can just throw out one for an example that was attempting to make a difference but fell short every time, and for me that was Zilladilius or Zillidalis, whatever his name is. But you guys know what I'm talking about, the Walker commander, the big fat dude.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him try, but he just totally got wiped out. And then
I've seen a Cassius.
Yeah, Cassius. Yeah, no, he got done up a little bit too, though. Yeah, he got done up a little bit too. I saw him lose to a Dragon Slayer, and I was just like, bro, Dragon Slayer is good, but she's like the standard. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you can't tank a Dragon Slayer, I think you're in the wrong bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just. Or
here's another thing to remember.
What's up?
Here's another thing to remember. If you're a Walker commander, you're marching in on somebody's arc and they have garrisoned, or if you're marching into a capital or a stronghold and they are defending it, and you march into a DS, you need to jump out or you're gonna get wrecked.
Right.
I mean, airships dominate walkers all the time, but I am very curious about Lazidas. But I will say that most of y'all's elves were probably running status quo. Because I couldn't beat none of y'all's elves. None of y'all's. None of y'all's Orochis, none of y'all's elves. Y'all were using status quo. It had to been.
I'm pretty sure they were. But let's go ahead and say that. Let's go ahead and do this. I'll just go through whoever's. I'm going to go through. Oh, and Dar, thank you for joining us here.
Oh, boy. What's up, Dar?
What's up, Dar?
I haven't seen you in a long time. Give your intro.
Yeah, Dar, go ahead and give your intro to the people, brother.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dar. I've been around for a while, probably since the 300 servers. Started off with a group called Enclave, moved over to 805, started over there. Met a lot of guys with ALD and played there for a little while with 420. I met them over there. And I eventually became a part of Die Guild, and they were one of the teams that was on one of my original servers, and I've been with Die Guild for a very long time now. Just recently joined EXE this season. Was actually thinking about quitting the game and ending, but these guys kind of sparked a whole new level of excitement in me. I quite literally feel like a rookie still now. But I think given enough time, I might be able to earn my place here.
Absolutely. And
you feel like a rookie, man. You got a badass sister wolf better than mine. Are you kidding me? It's good to see you. I seen you in that battle. I was like, wait, Dar's here? Like, you had to show up late. Like, you had to show up late, dude. I seen you, you hit my arc. I was like, what the fuck, Dar?
Yeah, I was at work for the beginning hour and a half or so, but I came in probably just after they had taken the right side stronghold. And then it was just being a good little soldier and following my orders, learning my place.
Right. And
don't lie. You loved us for a while. We've all been friends with you for a long time.
Yeah, man.
Hey, he's my friend too. Don't think of me as an enemy right now. Dar, it's good to see you, buddy. It's good to see you. I was surprised to see you hit my fucking arc. I was like, what? Dar's there?
Yeah, I was tasked hitting as many arcs as I could to clear out. I wasn't paying attention to who or what, so it was like, okay, red is dead. Here we go.
But you say, I got a question for you though. I get a question, Dar. I get a question. Knowing that you've seen my arc was red, now knowing that you knew what arc you were about to go hit, you knew it was Raziel, right? Like, did you like really want to did you really like feel like you wanted to hit it just to do it, or was it fun, or was it like, show them I'm here?
It was more of a hello. I know who you are. But literally, since we both main sister wolves, I actually was hoping to run into yours and see how far along you've come along, and to see whether or not I could still hold a candle to it.
I'm missing so much troops right now. I got tossed around like a rag doll in this GC. I ain't gonna lie.
By the time I found you, you were on video telling the Rangers that I was getting from you.
I had already ran out of troops. I was relying on resources or whatever I had to heal. The last bit of speed ups I had to heal the Rangers and whatnot because I was getting ported everywhere. The lag was so bad I couldn't jump as fast as I wanted to.
Real quick.
That lag was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I got definitely booted out. I had to jump around on what I had going. But real quick, let's just do that for the people watching. I know they love to hear the top commander debate of each class. We have people from all walks. There's some newbie players that might be lost in all this conversation. But one thing that everybody can relate to is the topic of like each class, who's the top 5. So let's start with you, Dar, since you recently just jumped in. Dar, can you give me what you felt were the top 5 infantry commanders on the battlefield during that last GC?
Like commanders or players that were running commanders?
No, just the commanders themselves, like just the overall presence.
Commanders themselves?
Yeah, we're talking about
for infantry. Oh, well, infantry is not my strong suit, so I'm like, I'll let other people who are better suited to infantry. Although I do admit, I did like seeing the what's it called, the Craig that was out there, and I still think that still has a place.
Yes.
So I know that was one that I'm admiring greatly right now, making me wish I could be infantry. I did see a puppet. Puppet was pretty good, and of course plasma.
Absolutely,
and that's a big surprise.
Yeah, and that's what I want from you. I'm not really asking your expertise on the class genre. I'm really just asking on the battlefield, which commanders kept popping up in your face and were like, oh, you're doing pretty good. You're definitely one of the better infantry, And now you gave us the infantry. What is the walkers that you saw that were also prevalent in the match from your perspective?
Definitely Elf. All of a sudden, to me, that just popped up and has become a lot more prevalent and stand out than it had been in the past. Sister Wolf still is pretty strong. I saw Zodilla out there, but I'm still on the fence with that one.
Which one?
And a couple kings were decent.
Yeah, what was the last one you said before King?
Fidus.
Oh, okay.
Zodilla?
Yeah, no, okay, perfect. Yeah, I was talking about him also, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I would say with what I seen pretty much mostly out there.
And the last
they
one,
were kicking ass.
And the last one, Airship. What's your take on Airship? What did you see on the battlefield? Of course, we already know about the Blacks. We know about the Dragon Slayers. We know about the Rochis. We know about the Reinhardts.
There's nothing else I can say about that because those are the ones that are running the meta right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody use Leona?
Did somebody use Leona for real?
No, I'm asking. Like, I think I've seen a few Leona replays, but these are the new commanders they're bringing out, and I don't think nobody really understands them yet.
Yeah,
or either that, or Seven Pirates is releasing commanders specifically only for their plugins.
Probably, and I just feel like out of the new commanders, I definitely feel Iron Fist Craig has definitely been pushed. We have like Evan, a great example. I know there's another one. I forget the name. That another Iron Fist Craig from another guild. I think in First maybe. There's another Iron Fist Craig out there that's been definitely pushing, what the commander is capable of. And I had Harris also give me a breakdown of what the commander does himself, which is very interesting. So, okay, Raziel, can you give me your breakdown on what commanders you felt? We'll start with infantry. What infantry commanders did you feel were on the battlefield that had a presence?
Dude, Comet Czar from Test Subject was fucking phenomenal. Like, he's always great. Like, if you go to the last, you can't watch the stream anymore, but if you go to the stream, if you would have clicked down, you would have seen me hit Test Subjects. At the end of the battle, my replay got up to almost close to the top, within the top, like, maybe 8. If you would have scrolled down, you would have seen me hit Test Subjects, Comet Czar, and I literally cleared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots of it, but he still won. It was weird to watch it in action because I knew for a fact that going against a Comet Czar with walkers, you have to have interference field maxed because Comet Czar has to be all dodge, like 100%. And to watch that, to at least seem like almost like an even trade, it was actually nice. Silent Killers, Stella, the dude that ported over there at the main base. All right, like if you actually watch the live stream, you will watch me scout him. Because I hit him once and I lost. I was like, fuck. So I scouted him again to see if he changed a different commander, or change his troop formations. But I'll tell you what, that Stella that Silent Killer had with first strike immediately, if you're hitting his arc, I mean, like he pretty much had that in the bag. Like I don't know how he could have done it better, but yeah, Stella definitely for infantry. Let me guess. And another one, plasma. Ronin had a awesome plasma. I hit that once. I won battle and I lost a battle. I lost a lot of troops, and he lost a lot of troops too. So I mean, I don't know if you. I got a couple reports somewhere. I got one report saved. Do you want me to share my screen?
If you want to go ahead and show it, yeah, that's not a problem.
All right, cool. I'll share my screen. I got 2 reports that I saved. I haven't went through everything.
Give me 1 second.
How do I share the screen?
Remember, all right. So if you're on the phone, there's a white little bar on the Discord chat where all of our faces are. Right.
All right.
You slide it
Invite,
up, and then you want to click share screen. Right now, you're sharing like your camera.
All right. So let me get out the camera.
Yeah.
And then I'm ugly. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck? This guy shooting himself in the foot.
How the hell did I get off the camera? This is weird. You know, being on WeChat, I ain't gonna lie. Being on WeChat for so much is like going back to Discord. It's crazy.
Yeah, totally different platform.
There we go. All right.
And so slide up that white little bar that should be at the lower end. As soon as you slide it up, it's gonna say screen share.
All right, screen share.
All right, you're live. Right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the stream for everybody here. All right, perfect. All right, you can go ahead and flip over to the game. Try not to show any provocative pictures.
Definitely not. I might have to reload the game. Looks like I have to. All right, let me reload the game.
All right, not a problem. But yeah, as we're going through the list, you said so far Stella, Comment Czar,
yes.
Plasma.
As for the walkers, dude, I gotta give it to Elf. Like that's all the infantry that I seen that they had. I think they had a puppet that was good.
No. It doesn't have to be only from the enemy side. I'm talking about overall. Like, which commanders do you feel from each? Because there's players that are watching that are infantry mains. They're like, damn, that was.
I wanted to give shout out to the people that that didn't get the W. So I have, that was my main focus, to make sure they got gratitude, if that makes any sense.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, also on your end too, on overall on the entire battlefield, on both sides.
Comments are. On my side, comments are Iron Craig, 100%. I don't think we had a puppet that was doing that great. I'm sure we do. I didn't really see too many of those reports.
Yeah. So just think both sides. On both sides, what commander on the battlefield was helping us? So you said Walker. Who was the top walkers?
You might as well say Plasma too. I mean, yeah, for infantry, Plasma definitely. So I lost 4,348, but look at what I killed though.
There's a lot of tier 11 there, but there's a lot of tier 11. But the
use case behind that though, right, is T11 is a lot cheaper to heal.
Yeah. Oh, this T11 is their T9s. Yeah, trying to make it happen.
Watch me heal. Watch me heal. I'm at 56 troops on this one, right?
Oh wow, back up to full stack. Did you even have that many troops in the stack? No, right?
They had 54.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, all right. I'm gonna play this again. All right, I'm gonna play this again.
That's an interesting take for everybody that's watching. That healing field can actually boost you up to the max number.
Yes.
Yeah, the max slot. The Arsonist production team. What's up, brother? I see you in the chat. Oh, okay. So you did start with 3K on the slot in the beginning of the match. Okay.
See, here's the thing. If he doesn't kill it, and they're healed,
yeah, it goes all the way back up.
He don't get the points for it. The damage I did from 56 troops healed the half slot almost.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay.
So technically, I beat this Plasma.
No, you won the battle for sure, but Plasma definitely is a kamikaze march. You know that
Definitely.
that is his nature, and
But
Yeah, I wasn't
for a
targeting your
Walker
March threat
player,
though, but it happens.
that healing that you can do, you don't need a Hancock anymore to beat a Plasma like that. You don't. If you can have the right, what is it? The research, right? I'm still sharing screen, right?
yeah.
All right. Research.
You looking for the talents? Yeah, it's in the research.
Don't stop asking, my friend.
Healing field.
Yeah.
Yes. Now remember, the dodge troops always they heal automatically depending on how much you dodge, anyways. So they don't need a healing buff. But I use these on my blue hulks, and unfortunately, I need it higher than that.
Right.
But I ain't that far though. I got a couple max. I'm close to max on a couple.
Yeah. No, Raziel, you're definitely a Walker main. So can I get your Walker top 5? What Walkers in the top 5 do you feel that made a presence on the battlefield that were like, damn, you gotta have these Walkers because they're making a difference?
Definitely, Elf. Who else after that? It would have to be King. I would say King's pretty good. Ira is definitely good.
Absolutely.
Where's Ira at?
Yeah, I got her. Oh, there she is. Right below the
I
case.
got her.
Yeah.
She right there.
I'm surprised you're not working on Ira, brother. You just rocking the sister wolf, right?
I haven't worked on her yet. I think I got a build on her right now. But for other Walker builds, I mean, realistically, it's pretty simple now. It's pretty jam packed to what the meta is. You got Sister Wolf, Elf. You have if you want to try sweep with Hancock, yeah, but that's kind of outdated now. You can sweep with any other commander if you want now, if you have the right sweep gear. So
okay.
King.
Okay.
King definitely is definitely in there. Let me scroll through these fucking people again. As you see, I got mostly Walker commanders. Yeah, I'm not saying Mary because that's just bullshit.
Yeah, it's just that was a meme. That's a meme.
One commander I would really like to see do good is Monk. I would love to see Monk do better.
Absolutely.
I don't think his skill is working like it's supposed to. I think his skill is supposed to work like Ira's. I really do. Really think.
What skill in particular?
80% chance. Adjacent to the target.
Yeah.
But she has more wording into there, so she's a little different.
Well, the main thing with Ira is that the main thing with Ira is that she ignores damage reduction. Monk doesn't have anything that bypass damage reduction. So that's why the skill may have the same percent, but it's not going to hit as hard. So airship though, what airship? Remember, on both sides, we're not talking about any particular players. We're just talking about overall who had a presence on the battlefield. What airship commanders did you feel had a presence on the battlefield?
Somebody had a Tadaka.
Oh my God, this troll!
I'm just kidding. No, they did not. They did not.
The last time Tadaka was relevant, the last time he was relevant was in the intro for like a CG intro for Ark of War. All right, brother. Outside of that, the man has not been relevant.
All right, Black, definitely.
Yeah.
Orochi. This is a definite no. You high tier troops, low tier troops on Reinhardt on Galactic Battle. Facing somebody with a max lead march, you do not want to send a T2 or a full T12 Reinhardt into a fucking GC because he's going to lose and it's going to cost you points. That's why I have not decided to use him yet.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna just put a pause right there. And that goes out. I'm glad Raziel said that because there's a lot of people on the Ark of War Facebook that are just crying about how Reinhardt is just like, it's all Reinhardt. And I said in the YouTube, on the Facebook Ark of War, are you guys even watching GC? because Reinhardt is not even top 5. He's not barely even top 7. Like, are you guys really watching GC? You know, maybe on a smaller planet, Reinhardt's, you know, annoying and pestering people, yes, but end game? Finals? Reinhardt? Making a difference? Y'all crazy. Anyway.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. They show it to him. Show it to him. Reinhardt making a difference? End game? Come on, guys. Y'all crazy.
The gear's not bad, though.
Got crazy. People on the Facebook were saying, like, this man was damn... You know, these people were talking like this man's damn near unbeatable. But, Raziel, can you finish off that top 5 infantry there for us, brother? I mean, sorry, top 5 airship?
Airship?
Yeah.
Alright, so you got Black, Orochi. You could say Reinhardt, but not in GC. Don't use Reinhardt in GC because it's an extra loss. Look, I'm using 700 troops. This is when I had nothing left to send in my arc. And I'm about to beat this guy like crazy. So, like, this is one of the matches that they should not have in the main base. Not one. Should not have any Reinhardt in the main base like that.
Alright, so who else was in the top 5 of the airship that you felt that were prevalent?
Is there even top 5 though? Is there even top 5? I mean, you got Black.
Right. Nah, if you feel that's the way.
You got Black.
Yeah.
You got Black. You got Orochi, definitely. I don't think anybody's experienced with Leona yet. I mean, I don't think they have. I think they should. She came out around the same time as Craig. I think if they experience with her a little bit more, they might understand her a little bit more. And realistically, DS,
yes,
Dragon Slayer. Yes. I mean, like, you really don't got much left to go off of unless you want to use Vega. That's only going to be a good 1-slot bust if your skills trigger, but I mean, I don't see any other airship commander in the meta right now except for Black, Orochi.
It's Black, Orochi, Reinhardt, and DS. That's it.
Yeah, perfect. And XP, let's go ahead and get your list here. So XP, what are some? You already gave us the airship. And what walkers do you feel that were relevant in the entire G on both sides? Like, just overall, which walkers did you see putting in work?
I mean, it's Elf. Elf was dominant.
Mm-hmm.
The builds were solid.
And let me ask you about those elves. Just one particular thing. Did you see a lot of switching of the pants? Because I'm pretty sure the elf spells are pretty straightforward.
I wasn't even paying attention to it.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you.
Because it's either the Reginaldus or I'm sorry, what's it called?
Heckless.
Which one? The
Heckless.
What's that? For the elves, Raziel, is there any elf replays you have in there? Because there's a pants that she has. There's one with accuracy and crit wither.
Just the Nanto pants.
Yeah, the Nanto. Thank you. That was what I was trying to say. So for elf, I only feel the only pants options that she has really is the Nanto or the Reginaldus. I don't think there's any other pants that she should be wearing. And for the chest piece, it's generally going to be the Hecatobolus, whatever the hell it's called. For the trigger rate, HP, and defense, I don't think anybody's rocking anything else. And then the weapons is either dual Aldebarans or one Aldebaran and a broken fortress, and the headpiece is tangling 90% of the time. Am I not about right, guys, with the elf build there?
I see my test subject.
Pretty accurate.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of get, because yeah, that's what I've seen a lot, and I do stare at a lot of people in the All-Star contest.
Am I still live streaming?
Yeah, we're still live streaming.
Yeah.
All right, this is the report you missed. This is one of my most viewed report.
Versus Tubbs test subject. Go ahead and play it. And I see test subject has the energy symphony there to regain after he gets the hit. So really good shit on that. So you could put it ×3. That shit's kind of slow, homie. Yeah, there you go.
Done.
Oh, this is the one that you were saying that like you cleared like 6 slots of his, but he still won. Like not 6 slots, but like 5 or.
Wait, 4.
4. Okay, yeah.
I'm using less troops. He's maxed out. I'm using way less troops.
Yeah. I see that he's using the Sagittarius to get the 60% HP. That's really great. That's a guaranteed hit. Adding on top of the Meteor Rush guaranteed hit.
So 405 walkers just cleared that one slot. What I don't understand is why I came after this battle again. Let's replay that again. Let's look at the look at what we got here.
Yeah, the ratio for infantry to walker is usually it's 3 to 2, or is it? Yeah, it's 3 to 2, and then the ratio for walker to airship is 2 to 1. So that's why the numbers are you know, as it kind of is there. It's
yeah,
like
but if I like watch this here soon. If I had my interference field up, I would have hit again. I only have it at 60% right now.
Yeah, and you're seeing there how 405 killed a whole slot of like 7,000. And yeah, you're running it with mind map. Good shit. Yeah. No, great replay. Oh, what's going on with that mechanical puppet though? Oh no, that was probably a one slot bust.
I got a lot of loss reports.
Right. But XP, are you still there, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, XP. So I think you were finishing off the walker list real quick, and then we'll go to infantry. Which
Walker. Walker. I mean, it's gonna be Elf, Elf Sister Wolf, your King, and Ira, if you have the right build. Hey, Craig's making a splash.
Yeah, if you want to jump over to infantry, you can. What infantry you were seeing make a difference on the battlefield? So you started with Iron Fist Craig.
Iron Fist Craig. You got Puppet. You got Commissar. You got Stella. I'm really like. The one great thing that came out of this last cast was Stella became a monster.
Yeah.
In cast.
Absolutely. And all right, so that's your overall take of all three classes. Let's go ahead and get Beyonder or Neva. Matter of fact, Neva, your mic is unmuted. Neva, can you give me your infantry breakdown? What infantry commanders did you see make a difference on the battlefield?
On the battlefield against GC, obviously top ones. You got to give it to that Craig. That Craig was nice, man. So Craig definitely making a big impact in some GCs for sure, man. You got the Czar. Czar is definitely right there with it. Then you got your Stella. Stella's nice, very nice, very nice. She's number 3. And 4 would be your puppet right there. You know what I'm saying? 4 would be your puppet. But if top 5, I mean, what made stood out to me a little bit, it was that Nekajiro. That Nekajiro actually had some pretty good impact. That high dodge setup Nekajiro had some pretty good replays against us. It made a difference on the infantry side of the story.
And that's exactly, I love what you said there, and that's exactly why I asked everybody their perspective. Because even though we're on the same battlefield, you know what I mean, some people have a keener eye to some, corner things that happens. And yes, there was a Nekajiro there on the battlefield. I definitely did get that replay on stream. So thank you for pointing that out, the Nekajiro. Did anything more you want to say about infantry, or can we move over to walkers?
We can move on to walkers if you'd like, brother.
Yeah, go ahead. What walkers made a difference on the battlefield for you?
Sure. So in the battlefield, this GC battlefield, obviously Elf was top tier on both teams. I mean, that there was some very, very large elves. So it's definitely that strong tank elf that we're speaking on. Yes. Sister Wolf, definitely Sister Wolf on there. You got your King next. Especially in this particular one. I personally made King, and I had some very nasty, very good plays and replays and everything. Some very good hits, but there was some different, some problems as well. So, and then you got Ira. That would pretty much round out your Walker comms. You did see his appearance from Zadalis, and you did see his appearance from Cassius, but as far as like the ones that really truly made a difference, that's who made a difference for sure.
Absolutely. Quick question on the battlefield: do you feel that absolute suppression, the skill, and having the tier 12 absolute suppress tier 11 Was that like a big deal on the battlefield? Was that something that was in rotation, or did that kind of fizzle out to the higher end play?
Of course, yes. It's definitely something to watch out for, especially if you're running a T11. Because I've built mods specifically for T11 because I've loved King since before. Yeah, but
Everyone got a good ass.
You do have to watch out for that absolute suppression for sure. But you don't see a lot of that in GB. You see that more mainly in CAS. You get some really high tier suppression builds up in CAS, but you don't really see a ton of it in GB because it's all about what you do, right? It's all about, can you kill certain things in CAS, or are you going to kill certain things in GB? You know what I'm saying? So you don't see a lot of absolute suppression in GB that often, to be honest with you.
Okay, so the Iras and the Kings become more prevalent in that environment.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, airship. What are the top airships that you saw?
Airship for sure. You obviously gotta give top one to Black. I mean, Black was just hands down nasty. It's been in the meta for a minute for sure. Then you
know these walkers are wheeling on their own.
Then you got your Orochi. So obviously your Orochi, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. You know, there's definitely some nasty builds with Orochi. So, and it's got some crazy talents to go with it. DS would be another thing you would need to watch out for in that battlefield. So that would be my third, and Reinhardt round out fourth, to be honest with you. Just because of the simple fact there are certain things you can do with the T12 Reinhardt and the T2 Reinhardt if you're doing it correctly. So that would be top four. As far as the fifth, there's not really one at this time. If you want to think about top five out of the overall aspect of the game, I would have to throw in I guess I'd probably say Vega in there as like a coming up style. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like at a lower level type shit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And Ronan, are you still there, brother?
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother? Ronan, thank you for your patience. I know there's a lot you had to wait for to get your chance to speak on it. Infantry, let's start with infantry, brother. What infantry do you see on the battlefield that actually contributed to the meta and shifting of that match?
Yeah, and to go back to one of what you were saying about, players learning from this or, seeing where they should go now, is what I'll say is you should always try to specialize to what you are actually capable to build and maintain, right? There's a lot of people who look at that high-end Black and say, oh, I want my Black to do that too. And they try with their budget to get there, but they don't have the right budget for that Black. And they get dissatisfied as a result because, like, to get to a build like Harris or 406 or those top-end guys, you have to put a lot of sweat equity and resources and, real money into being able to build and dial that in. So the one advice that I always give to players is you have to stick to something that you can be good at, right? And when you're looking at a GB or cast, when it comes to rotating into these different commanders, you'll have different commanders that can target very specific meta builds. So, I would say the top 5 is just going to be depending on who you can use it, right? Like you have Bane Stella. That is definitely one of, a very influential build for a smaller player that can rack up points and fight against top meta guilds or builds that other players are heavily struggling against, right? So I think it's very situational, and you have to build to what you can afford. Like obviously everyone wants an Orochi or Black like the level Harris does, right? But can you build one with that same gear? Can you maintain the awakening? Can you maintain the upgrade or keep the gear and all these talents up to date? If you can't, you're not going to be able to get the same results that you see someone like Harris doing. And in that case, a different build is, better for you, right? Like going back to infantry again, I built a plasma for this season specifically to counter Sun Ravens because I'm not going to spend $6,000+ on a gear build right now, right? So with plasma, I can buy $100 worth of speed ups and counter a build that cost over $6,000, right? Like they had builds that were jumping out of that plasma. So you have to just find your niche role, and all the commanders that has been mentioned today are really good and have an ability to do that, but it all comes down to the player behind that, right? And a lot of different commanders can be very beneficial in the right hands. So that would be my answer to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that I saved the best for last one. I'm choosing you last for that. I'm gonna kind of piggyback on what you're saying there. And yes, I say that to everybody. Don't think if you're watching this and you're like, I like Ark of War, but like, let's say you're like me, like I love Gilly, but she's not in the meta. Well, then don't ask yourself. Then don't force yourself to try to replicate something that in the end you can't financially replicate. In the end, try to find out what can you achieve and find the most satisfaction. Because if you have to play a build that you don't like and financially you're not able to upkeep it, you know what I mean? You're going to find yourself walking out of the game. As opposed to like saying to yourself, okay, this is my favorite commander or this is my favorite role in combat. How can I be of the utmost nuisance to the enemy and still be an asset to my team while achieving the visual appearance of the commanders that I want to use. So that is the overall takeaway. And I hope that when we name these commanders that are people that are coming up that are watching, go ahead and read these commanders' skills, try to find out why they're good, and maybe your favorite commander counters one of the top commanders. You know what I mean? So I love what Ronan is getting at. Like he said there, how much how efficient his small investment is in plasma, and how it counters something that is exponentially financially more expensive, which is the Sun Raven sets and the Black Awakenings, and how these people who've spent 6,000 plus just have this new gear set are jumping on his plasma, and you know what I mean. So I think it couldn't have been said better. Is there anything else as far as like what people could maybe test more or discover? I feel in each class. Do you have any points on that, Ronan? Like what people could be testing or what they could discover with maybe the underdog classes?
And again, for everyone who are building their individual guilds, right? You know where your strong players' strengths are. And so what I would say is try to supplement their weaknesses, right? Again, going back to the plasma use case, plasma is meant to buy my teammates more time. I'm not trying to score the most points or, get, even the coolest replay. I need to be able to do enough damage to a Glass Cannon Sun Raven build or another top tier meta build where I can buy one of our Sun Raven players or another player enough time to reset, right? So find what you're trying to do with your guild. If you guys got a strong black, you figure out who counters that black. Well, help build up, different builds or counters to supplement your team, right? Like a wolf pack has to be able to protect each other. So you can't just have one guild with the same build. You need to be able to have a mixed bag to throw in and be able to deploy that, right? So if you are looking for advice on, who to test or who to go with, I'd say do it as a team. Figure out what your team is good at, figure out what your team is lacking in, and see what is the most efficient way you can do to help cover some of that.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with that, 100%. And if I may add with that and everything, that's the difference in who, like, how much you spend versus
are you watching the live stream right now?
You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, you got to look at it this way. If you learn the game and learn the most efficient way to play and learn how to mesh well with the team that you play with, you would spend exponentially a lower amount of money than what you would coming in trying to be top dog 24/7 all the time. There's, like I said, I mean, it's if you learn the game the right way, if you learn how to fight, if you learn how to play, if you learn the ins and outs of your commanders and what you can do, if you have a favorite commander like I have with King, I know what I can kill, what I can't kill. I know that the ins and outs of this commander. You know what I'm saying? And if you learn that commander and you learn your matchups and you learn how to actually be a part of that team, you'll be very successful and have fun with this game for sure.
Nice. And Razia, I think you were trying to say something?
Let's see if you're on live.
Yeah, no, we're still, the stream is definitely
I'm showing loss reports, I'm showing victory reports.
Yeah, no, the stream is definitely seeing that. I just want to go ahead and touch back up on the topics like Neva and Ronan are touching on it. Such great topics. I'm going to give a great example, like in the beginning of the game, one of the most prevalent commanders that makes our eyes go, oh wow, like that commander's doing a lot more, like that really breaks the early game meta is Stella. In the first month and a half or the first month, somebody's going to get a Stella and wreak havoc, right? Stella's great, but she doesn't have a guaranteed hit. So if you have a great Stella in your guild and you're like, wow, my Stella's not going to get as good as that Stella, and then boom, on the enemy side guild, let's say the second best guild, that guy starts to main Stella because someone in your guild is kicking butt with Stella. Now you can go to yourself, hey, I'm an infantry main, And my Stella's not going to compete with either of theirs. But what you can do is pick up a Ghillie. And now you can counter that Stella. If you go dodge, Ghillie, she has a guaranteed hit. You know, Ghillie was the counter to Stella in the early game. Same thing, you can go Plasma. You know what I mean? There's other ways you can, there's other commanders that you can go for to be an asset on the battlefield and sway it back into your favor, as opposed to having a guild full of Stellas or guilds full of Blacks or guilds full of Elves. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
The game is far more diverse, and that's what these guys are touching on. And when I think like maybe a month 2 or basically when people start getting the Hancocks, that's when you find out your infantry's getting sweet a lot. Hancock's really great. He even's beating up a Stella a little bit. Maybe that early in the game, maybe I think by month 6 or 5, maybe Rogers comes into play, and now you're finding about damage reduction. Basically, in the early game, and the longer you play the game, with time, certain content gets released, and it shifts the meta drastically. And I feel like we've established the commander meta, but there's also a gear meta now. So it's not only a commander meta, it's commanders with this gear now counters their old counter until they get the new gear. So it's very diverse, and so I hope all you guys take these points to heart and don't think that you have to play the number one numero in your commander. A great example of what I'm doing, I say personally, I'm running up my main commander right now is like a Reinhardt, but I have a backup mechanical puppet because I want to get rid of other big tanks. Tanks are a lot of to hold the capital, because that's the main thing. Every team needs a tank to hold the objectives, and then of course you rotate in and out. Aggressive commanders and infantry, the way they hold outside of tanking is with the dodge mechanic. And airship with the absolute defense, and then walkers with either status quo or just like elf, or every class has their way of holding a capital, and you need to think to yourself, okay, based on my guild, what do I have? Do I have a really good Reinhardt? Do I have a good Stella? Do a good Sister Wolf? What can you complement that player with? Because if you go up against a guild that's with a similar mindset, I'm telling you, having that 1 or 2 players off to the side that has the counter is going to be the reason why you guys take the capital.
Yep, and that goes along with a lot of you actually getting to know your players you're playing with too, and everything like that. Yeah. One thing we definitely pride ourselves on in the EXE is the fact that we learn each other. We learn what our mechanics are. We learn what each other can fight, and not only that, we know who we can line up behind and trust to take care of this particular objective, and how we can turn around and pull that one, and then this guy's going to go through. So it's all about just learning your mechanics, learning your game. It's from level 1 to level 1000 if you want to give it a top level. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you can have players that are 340 million, 350 million power, killing players that are 8-9 billion power. And it's all about learning the mechanics of the game and learning what your team can do. So if you find yourself a solid friendship bond and a team bond, a true team bond, and you know what you're doing, and you actually can contribute to each other's success, it's going to be nice. I promise you.
Hidden competitive advantage right there that Neva is saying is, if you build a guild nucleus around players that actually give a shit about each other and are real life friends, right? Not just chasing that bond, the want to stay together and to play this as a hobby continues, right? And I mean, that's the reason why I'm in the game, is you make these connections and friendships, but over time, those bonds help cultivate and essentially grow your players, right? Because you have players who may not have been spending very much at the start to grow, the more and more they get invested into the team and the guild, right? And ultimately, that's what you want, right? Is at the end of the day, you guys want to have fun. But the more fun you have doing it as a team, the more your team is willing to spend. So, I mean, EXE's spending power has come up considerably, even among the players that we've had, historically, just because the guild has wanted to spend, not necessarily just to win, because we're all, friends here. We will have competitive advantage, there's a lot of this friendly banter going back and forth and rivalry and wanting to make sure you can support your team, that it just organically grows, right? So the deeper you can make that genuine bond within your guild, if you aren't a pack of just like wallet players, is that can kind of grow over time.
100%. 100% agree. And we got people in the chat said these guys are speaking real gems. It's absolutely the truth, man. And I've said this time and time again. People are the greatest resources in this game. Like, even more so than farming tiles. If you got a good click, if you got people that are responsive, that you can get in a chat with and, be like, yo, coordinates over here, this guy's shield's down. Or that guy that hit your tiles, bro, he's over here with his shield down. Like, just people are resources, the greatest resource in the game. So do not sleep on having a great community. That's the first thing you should be building in Ark of War, more so than I'm spending this, that, therefore I should be able to be the strongest player on my server. Like, yeah, that's gonna last until you realize you can't hold a capital by yourself. You need a guild. You can't do weenie marches by yourself. You need a guild. So this game is definitely far deeper than a one-man army, and that has been proven time and time again. I think back when Melt was playing, he spoke of a character named not a character, but a player named Vera, and he was the strongest early on with his golem, and he tried to go off and do a one-man show, and he lost, and he was spending big money, and Vera could not just keep up with the great teamwork that these other teams had, and he couldn't organize his team. Maybe an ego issue, telling them like, hey, blah blah, listen to me, I know what I'm talking about. But meanwhile, he's speaking with his wallet, but he doesn't know the matchups. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more to the game. It's very, very deep, and at this point in time, I think we've kind of beaten the horse dead, guys. Thank everybody. I want to do outro for everybody. We're gonna kind of close it down. This was a great freaking post championship interview. Thank you to everybody that came out. Let's can we get an outro from maybe I guess Ronan, you want to go ahead, brother? Say your piece to shout outs to anybody.
Yeah, no, just that the game is enjoyable for everyone because there's an active community, right? So for us to show up and to be able to continue to compete means that we want to fight very stiff competition, and we are. There are a ton of really good guilds out there and different leadership structures and communities built around very talented players. So as we go into the next season and as things goes, right, we want to see everyone succeed. We want to see this meta continue to shift and be a part of that. So I think the next season will be very interesting. You definitely have a Sunraven coming more into the mainstream meta where more and more guilds and more players are getting it, right? Like this last Ether Coin event was a great example for players who had existing coins to stock up. Like I got a Sunraven piece for under 500 just because I've been building up coins for so long. So they're making it more accessible for players. So Sunraven will definitely stay in that. But the energy synthesizer and all these other things, you're going to see additional builds continue to go. So I think your commander matchup for next finals is going to be very different. And it really goes to whatever guild is able to implement and execute that the fastest. So it'll be an exciting season for everyone.
Absolutely. And thank you for putting it that way, Ronan. And for being a great sport to jump in here, with the TNB members here. Dar, can we get your outro or just your overall take on everything, brother?
Well, I don't know much more I could say to touch up on the subject that Ronan and all these other guys have already been saying. I've been blessed with an opportunity to be in a great community right now. They've been pushing and giving us an opportunity to improve daily, and they keep me motivated. So I'm hoping that where I'm at will be able to give back soon, so to speak. And also, I'll just give a real quick shout out to my old guild, Die Guild. I love you guys. You're still out there and you're still strong. I know we're a little bit scattered, but keep together. The community is, like they said, the greatest thing out here.
Facts. And Beyond, are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead and show the people your outro. Let anybody know, if anybody touch your tiles, you want to, shoot the shots you got to shoot, and show love to the community in your outro, brother.
I just wanted to say for TNB, it was a great outing yesterday. It was a lot of fun on both sides. It was very hard fought, a lot of strategy on both ends, and it was a well-earned victory on your end. And I just want to say kudos to you all for how you implemented and moved things forward. It was a great showing. The other side, just like what echo what Ronan was saying, it's the community around you that helps each player. Like iron sharpens iron as you go forward. And it's like as I said, like I started playing many years ago. I took a 2-year break. When I had my son, and it was my friends that kept playing is what brought me back in. And that community grows, and as that community grows and your guild and you have people around you, you start to experiment. And when you're experimenting, you kind of relight that fire back in. And it's like I'm not the biggest player, and it's like Ronan, everybody knows that I'm not the biggest player, but I'm more of a midline player. But it's they help the continuous growth and improvement going forward. So like that, it's been a great experience, and I'm really excited for next season and how the growth goes forward.
Absolutely, that was well said. And Neva, you there, right, brother?
Yes, sir.
Neva,
yes, sir.
Outro, brother.
Well, man, definitely shout out to TNB for a great match last night. Very fun. Probably one of the best GB finals I've been in. Honestly, it was really nice. It was really competitive. I enjoyed that. As far as like for the community and everything like that, just make sure you're learning what you got to learn. You know what I'm saying? Get together with your community, get together with your friends, and just like he said, experiment with some things and learn how to play it and have some fun with it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to be the biggest guy. You can be one of the smallest guy and punch up so hard. Shout out, like I said, shout out to TNB and shout out to EXE. Every member in EXE, I'm very proud of what they was able to accomplish. Especially some of the midlines, and especially the leadership and the big guys, Harris, 406, Ronan, Test, old man, and definitely shout out to Raz for inviting me over here and everything like that, and you, Reggie, for sure. You definitely are a staple to the community right now with doing your videos and everything like that, and we appreciate that, brother. We appreciate these live streams. We appreciate the opportunity to be here, man, for sure.
Yeah, thank you, Neva. Couldn't have said it better, man. And Raziel, brother, go ahead and give it your outro, and welcome back from like your ban. And I know there's a lot of drama, but as you can see, I'm humble enough to give you your roses, Raziel. So give us your outro, brother. Raziel, you there, Pimpin'?
Hear me? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Alright, I want to just say this, 100% EXE. I respect you guys. I actually respect you more for coming over here on this live stream and actually, coercing together and talking together. Just because I'm in a Chinese guild doesn't mean I just chose a guild that's going to be number one. No, this is something that this guild has done. It's been planned for a long time, and we haven't been able to achieve those goals. So we ourselves had to, they keep saying for 5 years that they've been trying to do this. So this is something that they've been doing for quite some time. And I was actually just lucky enough to fight them in Kazakhstan, and that's how I earned my respect for them, is fighting them on my own. And that was when I was with First Guild. So if anybody ever thinks that I just joined a guild just to get this, no, I've been with this guild for almost a year now. So, I mean, there's a lot of coordination and planning that they've done in this guild for quite some time that I don't have rules or things to give me on that end. You know what I mean? So, but to have you guys here in EXE to talk about this, the final matches, I respect you guys more. I really do, because we're not here to talk about a loss. We're here to talk about how we can get better as a community. So, no, I'm not trying to interrupt anybody. I think I did a damn good job tonight. And I'd like to be back in the community, so if anybody has these little blocking restrictions on me, can you, not do it anymore?
Give it a second chance. Well, I'll definitely vouch for you. I will I'll try my best. You're definitely welcome back on my platform. Like I said today, you did great. And I do a drinking show. You know, usually Thursday night is a drinking show. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's just just be respectful, man. Like this is a game. At the end of the day, like people say it and people think they're casual, but there's a core message to it. Like at the end of the day, everybody's here to have a fucking blast. This is what we do for a fucking hobby. You know what I mean? We're not on here to be called like derogatory terms out of context. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting it in a funny joke, yeah, okay, cool. But as far as like getting on here and just blasting your ego, that's not what we're really here for. And maybe some people take pleasure in crushing other people's egos. Hell yeah, we're all here for it. That's more for the community, more bang for the buck. But at the end of the day, as long as we keep this community thriving, keep the competition burning, like EXE has burned the fire in all of our hearts to show us, like, there is a core game here that with high level strategy, high coordination, which EXE is going to push to the next level, and we're all looking forward to like the levels that EXE is going to achieve, like just getting better from here. EXE is definitely going to be first place next season. I just my money's on it. My money's on it. But
hey, I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you this: you're gonna fight first next season. TNB is probably gonna take a break.
Yeah, well deserved.
Anyway, so before I go, because I got other shit I gotta deal with. I'm still gonna probably be listening, but I want to let you guys know, all of EXE that decided to join here, thank you, 100% thank you, and I appreciate you guys coming out here, even though you guys got the loss. Don't count it as a loss. This is improvement for your next season. All right. I really appreciate you guys, and like maybe one day I can fight with you guys. You never know. All right. Thank you for coming.
You be safe, Raz.
Raz, cheers, brother. Reggie, one thing to add real quick, before we close out is, along the lines you said, right? Of course, EXE wanted to win this season, and, we had a blast coming into this fight, but on our debrief call, or on one of our voice calls after, Foe was asking the guys, he said, yeah, everyone's talking about how we lost, but he asked, hey guys, but, how was it? You guys have fun? And everyone was like, fuck yeah, to hear all those voices, adults acting like grown ass children, it was great to see. It was like everyone at Christmas, man, and that's what it's all about, is building a community and building a guild full of players who enjoy doing what we do. And, that's the mission we'll take forward in this next season that we're so excited about. But you say shout outs too. The last thing that needs to be shouted out is, all the girlfriends and wives impacted by Arc of War, especially in a Cassiton and a playoffs. I know my girlfriend, she's been real patient, right? I mean, Neva's in the doghouse for the next month or so is what I hear. There's some real patient people out there.
Yeah, my wife wasn't too happy either.
That's right. That's the funny shit right there.
Yeah, no. Shout outs to the wives that endure our bullshit hobby. Yeah, that's low.
While you're playing your game again with your internet friends, yeah, that's right.
You didn't clean the gutters today, but you sure played that fucking game.
Yeah,
that's love, man.
You guys are awesome, man. I love you guys, and Reggie, thank you for having us. You're a really pure person when it comes to the stream. I'm glad that you're doing what you need to do when it comes to the community. And you're actually bringing us back together more than separating us. Instead of just thinking about what's the best way to beat somebody, you're doing your job to tell everybody, hey, well, let's get everybody together and say, hey, how do we get better? This will definitely change the game. This will definitely make Seven Pirates say, oh, we got to come up with something new now. So I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, and thank you. I'm glad that all you guys are saying that stuff too, because there's people in the community that when I post and stuff like that, they're just like, well, you could do it better this way, and I'm like, yo, I've won 5 months in a row for content creator, bro. Like, I think I know what I'm doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But people would literally like down talk me and not see that, like, at the end of the day, I'm doing things for the beginner players, I'm doing things for the middle players, I'm doing things for the highest level, which is you guys, and giving you guys that platform to speak. And anytime that I speak incorrectly, I always give open, like, I always give the opportunity for me to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too much on a high horse to be like, oh, I studied all the videos, I know this game. No, I don't. There's a level that you guys play at that I can't really speak on. Like, I know that this beats that and that, but in combat, you guys know it far greater, and your experience of it and how often it wins, and what's the more likely build or adjustment that should be made to pull the win. You know what I mean? And not just staying to should I say, old mentalities of, oh, last season this beat this and this. Therefore, even though we're losing to it right now in this battle, we're not going to stick to it. You know what I mean? We're gonna literally sim battle this right now and figure it out. And that's what really pulls you guys to the upper echelon of, or say strategic meta mentality of Arc of War that the common viewer cannot reach. You have to be in the battlefield to know about. So that's what, it's just beautiful to get all the minds here together and speak at that level, and for you guys to bounce love back to me for what I'm doing for the community. And yeah, man, I want Arc of War to be here another 10 years, brother. I'm trying. I've sent, last thing I'll say, I know I'm kind of going on a rant here, but last thing I'll say is I've even sent 7P even better art, because I felt like some of the art of the recent commanders like Saber, Iron Fist Craig, and Ira kind of not where my heart is on what I think is capable of Arc of War. So I've even sent them better pictures of other games which had really cool looking like sci-fi characters that fit this genre. I've sent them like 7 pictures of different commanders. I've sent them merchandise that I want to go ahead and sell, or at least give out to you guys for following to my Patreon or whatever. And 7 Pirates has made it a little difficult. They said that they can't give me the go ahead on the merchandise, but as long as I create merchandise or create things that are reminiscent to the element of Arc of War, then they would have no problem with it. But it can't be anything in game. So there's things that I'm working on the back end to try to make, I know people have melt cup holders. I kind of want to give everybody that experience with other items. I had face masks for like the COVID. I had t-shirts. And once I figure out how to properly launch that, I think, as a whole, we'll be able to walk out into the world and be like, oh shit, this guy has a keychain that's from Reginaldus' live stream. Hey, yo, bro, do you play Arc of War? And one day we'll reach that point. But, I'm still working on it. So, thank you.
I still have the coin. I still have the coin.
From Melt?
Melt. Yeah, the Bad Titans. And I also have the mug. It's in storage. I have it. Yeah. Let me know if you decide to go with some damn shit you're trying to sell. I want good graphics on it, though.
Yeah. No, trust me. I have I'll probably post a picture here in the chat, but we're going to kind of close things down here for the stream. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. And, thank you for everybody that came from EXE and TNB. I might have to do a part 2 so we can get more TNB members. It's going to be more difficult because not everybody there speaks English. So it's going to be like a AI generated language stream. But we're going to definitely try to get more of the TNB players side of things and make this an international, international channel. But with that, thank you, everybody. Salute to fucking the soldiers, shout outs to the EXE, everybody, like Ronan said, that they said they had a good time. That hits my heart, man, because that's what it's about, man. That the fact that you guys, even at the end of that, was like, yo, did you have a good time? And everybody was just like, fuck yeah, yo, we fucking, that's what it's about. So can't say anything more. I think we'll leave it.
Thank you, EXE.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give my ending quotes to this because I actually am gonna get off after this.
Yeah,
everybody that decided to join from EXE today on the Reggie's chat today, I applaud every one of you guys. You are awesome fighters. You guys are amazing. Like, realistically, like, you guys will be number 1 next season. I don't see why you would not. 100% great battle. And I hope that we can be friends after this. That's most important because this community is. It'd be stronger if we're all together, if that makes any sense. So, I appreciate everybody that took their time to do this stream with me and Reggie, and thank you. Y'all have a good night, okay?
Night later, brother.
Night.
Later.
See you guys.
Play the outro. All right, laters.